Turn to ban. PSG.LGD's turn to ban. Alliance's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. PSG.LGD's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliance's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. PSG.LGD.
Winter Wyvern.
The third day of group stages here at ESL 1 Fall Bootcamp Edition is ready to start here with Alliance versus PSG.LGD. The game is alive, the draft is alive. I'm here with Sind and T. And one thing that we noticed in this game, for which the draft will be on your screen in a second. Very few teams have done this, but Alliance just did it.
PSG.LGD.
What? No, this is not the draft.
Wow!
Ignore this!
Wow, they were going fast.
No, that was also Liquid versus Beast Coast. But they've chosen Dire. Of course, teams still favor second pick, so PSG.LGD had first choice. They chose second pick, but then generally it is the other team that chooses Radiant. In this case, Alliance chose Dire. Well, riddle me that, T.
Ooh, time for riddle. No, yeah, so far, Alliance in all the games that they have played at ESL Full, it has been on Dire as well. And I think just, I guess the go-to guess would be, you know, the jungles feel nicer to farm. As a carry player, you look at the heroes that Nikobubi's playing, they would like to utilize that quick, you know, run around jungle and just farm up the map. So it is an idea of the offlanes right now are aggressive tower takers. Your safe lane naturally wants to be able to farm, so it is the more efficient, you know, early 15-20 minute side of the map.
Yeah, it is very unique, which is always interesting to see. It probably means that Alliance are just, either they don't think the difference between first and second pick is as big as we do and other teams do, or they just think the triangle just outshines everything. Either or, probably. Let's have a look at this draft, though. This is a pretty interesting opening. So first overall pick, Winter White. Nerfed a lot, but they still seem to rate it very highly. And then we see LGD respond with a first phase Clinks that hasn't even been picked yet this tournament. I think it has.
I played yesterday against Empire.
That was a game I didn't see.
Yeah, it was on the other stream, and he owned indeed. He had it very good. And also that Sand King is maybe a little bit of a deny pick, considering S4 actually played it very successfully against Empire as well.
The fun thing with Clinks is when you first saw it in the patch when you played it,
LGD's turn to ban.
Until you then have like Skadi, Daedalus, you know, all the items come in. But before you get them, it's
but normally that's the case for all heroes.
I know, but
why is Clinks different?
It's so much funnier to watch because Clinks uses his spell. He's like, pew, pew, pew. Okay, didn't kill the wave. Sorry, hold on, guys. Let me just click them down. But yeah, like the hero early on doesn't really do much. But when you do get these items, when you have that simple lockdown to enable your spell usage, you do so much damage. But it's very much like bide your time, wait, and then he becomes like the raid boss.
I actually think Clinks does a lot of damage with just a Maelstrom with the spell. But the tricky thing about the hero is if you don't kill with that spell, what do you offer after, right? Like, comparatively, a lot of other carries just have this constant source of outgoing damage, or they have better farming potential because they have a natural built-in cleave talent or cleave skill or by battle fury or, you know, whatever it is that allows them to farm up. I think Clinks is very unique in the way that with this new spell, what is it called again? Is it Burning Barrage?
I honestly can't remember off the top of my head. I'll check for you.
But what it basically does, it's kind of like Pangalier's first spell. It shoots in a straight line and it hits multiple times in a row. And the delay between each attack is long enough that the internal cooldown of Maelstrom, which is 0.2 seconds, resets. So you can hit, in theory, multiple Maelstrom procs with this. It does a lot of damage, but it's always one of these things with how conditional is it, right? I think Klinks needs to play with Sun. He just needs to.
But this is why the Sand
they
King's
pick
there,
Sand
right?
King, which is a great setup stun. So.
Also undefeated so far at the tournament. 4 games, 4 wins with Sand King.
10 seconds
Which
remaining.
is a bit also not surprising, but it's like the idea that the heroes, we didn't really see it too much
5
pre-patch, and
seconds
of course
remaining.
the slight changes help.
And the 2 of those victories of the 4 are from Alliance, because they played it on S4 once, but they also had a mid Sand King game yesterday.
Ooh.
Yep. Makes for a nice opening phase pick, always, to have these heroes that can play multiple roles. I think, personally, I think Klinks is one of the more, how to say, he's one of the least flexible heroes right now. I think this hero can't really be played as a 4 anymore. It was a thing. I don't know if you can do that now.
It was based off, like, I think it was like Burning Army and stuff like that, right?
10 seconds remaining.
The diffusal.
I think support Klinks was when Death Pact was not the ult.
5 seconds
Right, it was
remaining.
you could get Death Pact level 1 or 2, and then you could.
Oh yeah, your ultimate was the
I
Burning
think
Army.
Crit was playing a lot of Klinks, and he
LGD's
loved the hero.
turn to ban.
And he's been complaining for like a year now about how all the reworks just aren't fun. So a bit of a shame. He's a big fan of the hero, but just can't get it the way he wants.
But this will just be the carry for PSG. You know, with
more than likely. That's what I mean. I just don't see support Klinks being good. Like.
Yeah, exactly. You want to see like Zhao on like this puck now or something to continue to lock down the fight. Of course, Alliance, they instantly respond
5
to
seconds remaining.
the Klinks, because in the game you're just going to be able to get on top of him, right? Like you want to be able to stop him from channeling that spell and then just disrupt his play. Like he will buy BKB eventually, but for him to have fun in the game, he needs like Maelstrom plus 1 damage item, then the BKB. So there's a nice window for like a bot blink, bot BKB back to try and run over a Klinks.
I love the Faceless Void ban. I think it's probably the best possible ban in this pool for multiple reasons. First of all, LGD do love to play support. I'm gonna get the Venge. I'll get to that in a sec. First of all, we get the Faceless Void that they play as 5 is now banned, but it's great with Klinks. It's a guaranteed way for him to hit his Burning Barrage. It sets up Sand King Epicenter. It would counter Batrider because he hates playing into time dilation. So there's just like really many good things about support Void. So I love that ban, and I love this pick.
I love the Venge.
I want to see this hero more. I think it's going to be legit this patch. The buffs, if you haven't read the change log, the swap deals 50 damage, so you can never blink out of it with a blink dagger, and whenever Venge swaps, she gets 30, 40, 50% damage reduction for 3 seconds, no matter what she swaps. Whether it's an enemy or an ally, you just get tankier.
But it also applies to...
Great.
It also applies to the hero that you swap as well, right? Or is it just you?
Just you.
Okay. So it's the fact that you can just put yourselves in these positions.
Oh wait, if it's an ally, do they also get
I believe they do.
Oh, maybe the allies get it.
Yeah, I believe they do.
Yeah, the enemies don't.
Yeah,
like, you don't
exactly,
also protect them, but...
Yeah, I remember it. I believe it is allies as well, but like it's the fact that you have this, you're so tanky, you don't really care too much about swapping in now, because if they do go on you, you're going to have that extra, 50% life basically. And then you look at these heroes, I think you mentioned the swap damage. That is the best change on the hero, honestly, because so many times you would swap a hero in and they just instantly blink back out. But now that you have that 50 pure damage, it feels so nice to play.
Yeah, it's also not just the fact that it counters blink, it's also just your hero just got damage that it didn't used to have, right? Like it's just for every kill that you make with offensive swap, the 50 damage is just there. It's just nice. It feels good to have. The aura, of course, the command aura, whatever it's called now, is Vengeance Aura. 32% plus damage, I believe, on level 4. Insane for Klinks. And they also get the added value of having Nether Swap against Batrider Lasso, a classic counter from many years ago.
I love this Mars pick though as a response, because like when you have Venge lineups, it's going to be like kind of that artillery. Everyone's kind of throwing in the right clicks, and then just go for the casual Mars, get the bulwark, just stand still, soak up most of that damage.
Bulwark shouldn't work against Burning Barrage, right?
It's only the right glitch.
So I don't know how effective he's going to be exactly, and you're also picking Mars with Bat, so maybe you're a little bit too much in the direction of utility here. Alliance currently have very weak physical damage unless this Mars goes something like a Deso. So BKB is 100% name of the game here for LGD regardless. I think both Leshrac and Klinks want that item this game. And I'm just thinking, okay, what can Alliance finish this draft off with that will really bring that physical component? With the Spectre being banned, one of the best carries against Klinks, maybe you look for Sven as an option here, something that hits really hard and takes advantage of Arena.
Do you have preference as to which one S4 and Limp are playing? Because they're the bad and the Mars, and you know they could go both ways. But do you have preference yourself?
I'd love to see the bat mid.
I think so too.
We saw that matchup yesterday as well, and the bat did a lot of work against Leshrac. I think Leshrac didn't
10
really.
seconds
Oh, I can't remember who was
remaining.
playing it, but they were.
Toronto, Tokyo.
Yeah, he wasn't really kind of respecting that extra damage bat's applying, and it just gives
PSG.LGD
bat the ability to really
turn
dive.
to
And I
ban.
think Mars Widow is such a potent lane.
Yep. Mars should also lane well against Klinks. If he plays in the, assuming that Klinks is safe lane, if you put Mars there, he can just use Bulwark. Just put one value point in it and you take way less harassment from the Klinks. On the flip side though, if you did put Batrider top, with the laning changes to
10
Batrider on
seconds
level 2 or
remaining.
level 3, Bat could actually just dive and kill Klinks, right? The main thing that has happened is
5
level 1
seconds
Firefly
remaining.
has double the damage of before, which sounds absolutely insane, but it was because it was really garbage before on level 1.
Yeah, it tickled up
It went from 10 to 20 DPS, and then your Napalm also got a bit better. So honestly, I can see cases with both things. If you put Mars top, you have less kill pressure on Klinks, but you're very good defensively and you give Bat a lot of levels mid. But if you were to put Bat top, I think you would do a great job against Klink's Venge. So we'll see.
Hey,
Medusa last pick for Alliance. They did, and I believe Antimage is banned by LGD here. That's one of the classic heroes you would get against that. How is Slark? Is that a
10
possibility
seconds
whatsoever?
remaining.
And they put Klinks in a different role, or are they just okay? We're kind of committed. Well, they
5
I think they're
seconds
kind of
support
committed
remaining.
Lesh.
right now.
They could play support Lesh. I'm just looking, like, Slark is very good this game. He's actually good against all 3 cores. He can break off Napalm, he can jump out of the arena, and he's one of the heroes that can just lay into Medusa in these long fights and build up. So if they didn't put this Klinks on Ame 100%, I think he would love to play Slark this game, but maybe it's too awkward to put this Leshrac on support and then put Klinks mid. Honestly, yeah, Klinks mid against Bat is just no good.
Yeah, no, I feel right now.
But you can put Slark mid.
I think the flexibility exists within, you know, Lesh to off lane to mid potentially, where the Sang can be 4 off lane, but you know, right now they need to, like, they have, okay, they're just going to pick straight away.
You may
Okay,
now
pretty-
select your heroes.
The way you guys are both talking, it means that you really like this Medusa pick coming out from Alliance, because it's not something that PSG.LGD has an answer to still.
I think we saw yesterday how Medusa lineups can get stupidly punished by, you know, the Medusa lineup actually being proactive, but Alliance have the heroes where in lane, Mars Widow is pretty strong, Bat should have a good time, and then you have this kind of defensive mechanisms to enable the Medusa, right? So
I'm curious if a Diffusal Klinks can just own Medusa. I mean, that's what I'm thinking here. Whenever I see Medusa in a game, I'm like, okay, do we have a hero that can buy Diffusal as a core, right? Just a mana burn is the way to solve this hero most of the time. And with this Burning Barrage, maybe a Diffusal actually does so much damage to Medusa really fast that she can't stay in fights, but that's TBD. I don't know. It's something that maybe they don't know either. Like, perhaps Ame has never tried that item build since the hero got changed. So.
Best place to try, surely. Officials.
I think Alliance's offlane and mid will go pretty well, which will be able to enable the Medusa, right? Like, when you have Wyvern Medusa, it's not the best lane, but some Mars Willow, some Batrider, they're going to find kills. Like Klinks, he needs items, you know, Medusa needs items as well, so that should delay the time. And I think you have the Kings of Anti-Aggression, where when Lesh comes to hit a tower, just bring the arena, just prevent that engagement, and then delay your game. So I think I prefer Alliance's draft, because, you know, yesterday was a story of win early, but then you suddenly just make one mistake and you lose, and that's kind of what the PSG vibe's going for right now.
All right, so both of my panelists are liking Alliance's draft. They look like they have a comfortable one for their first game here indeed. Let's see if PSG.LGD can turn those tables. We're going to find out together with Moxie and Kyle.
Prepare
Thank you
for
so
battle.
much, Sheaver. We've got a great game ahead of us, and we're going to get a chance to finally, you know, take a little peek at Klinks with these changes that have happened here over on the main stream. Kyle, we discussed a little bit about this over in the green room. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm a big fan. It's really funny because a lot of my old Han friends like Meander noted that the new Q on Klinks is actually lifted from Heroes of New Earth Forsaken Archers, like Volley, which... I don't know why we know that, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a cool ability because the hero never really had any flash farming. Kind of was what was missing. You were fully single target. You're kind of like a carry bounty hunter at times, where it's like if you're finding kills, you're useful. Otherwise, you're getting out farmed.
30 seconds
Traditionally,
to
I think
battle.
a very good matchup against the Medusa. And it'll be interesting to see how PSG.LGD's minus armor stacking functions, because it's traditionally not ideal against Dusa because your mana shield absorbs damage before reductions anyway. So you're effectively at 0 armor when you're using mana shield. So we'll see how it plays out. Also, Wyvern, Alliance still leaning on it. Yeah, it was nerfed. Hero's still pretty damn strong.
Right, right, well, looks like
The
we've
battle
got some
begins.
skirmishing here for the rune, but Eliza is going to back off. Don't want to do too much here, but we'll get a couple nice clicks off here on Faithbien and set them up to have a nice lane. I think it's also very interesting the fact that, I think Kips actually mentioned this over on Twitter, fact that Alliance, you know, you look at this draft, right? It's very reminiscent of drafts that they played during DPC Season 2. But now, you know, a lot of these heroes, they've got some really nice buffs, especially, you know, the Bat Rider. We've seen Limp do quite a few things with this. Very good. And it just so happens that this is kind of their patch.
It was really mid-bat specifically that got buffed because the napalm damage is just a boon to your last hitting. But more importantly, Firefly doubling damage at level 1. You were keeping that skill level 1 for some time. A lot of bats would sometimes skip Flame Break, but now I think 3-1-1 is the 100% build, which means 4 or 5 napalms on a Lesh, and suddenly Xiao Hui's in a ton of trouble. So it's a rough lane for Leshrac. This is not something that you really enjoy. Yes, you see he starts with the stick, he'll be able to spam lightning, but you know, you find yourself out of position, you're just dead. So look to see Limp bully here.
Y down in the bottom lane taking some damage from Hanscon, just making sure that he can't harass his core over lane. And Nico Baby is getting a bit bullied here by Faithbien.
Yeah, this is a rough setup. I'm surprised they got so much damage off just level 1, but that is the power of ET.
Oh, bottom lane. It looks like they'll find the kill on Y.
Radiant's
Can they
bottom
get
tower
anything in
is under
return?
attack.
No, Hanscon, he's just too fast, and they were not in position to punish.
Looks like they just got level 2 first.
Denied.
Immediately go in. Mars very effective. You're able to get the rebuke into the spear. But we'll see. I think Alliance, as the game progresses, end of the day, they will scale. They've just got so much incredible team fight. Yeah, Wyvern's laning is nerfed, but Curse is still busted. Like that spell is still absolutely insane to just cancel out damage coming from a BKB core, potentially, you know, forcing him in the late game just to kill off his support.
Well, remember what it was like when it first came out? You were actually able to do damage on top of everything. Like,
It was
that
so
was
broken.
I got a lot of MMR when that hero came out, but yeah, you know, it's definitely got a lot of value, and we're seeing a lot of the teams, they really kind of favor something that's able to, you know, just not cancel out the BKB, but, you know, waste time, hold them in place, counter it. And, you know, in this case, we're seeing that Wyvern. You've got, you know, plenty over on the side of PSG.LGD with the
We'll see.
Venge and whatnot.
We'll see how Venge plays out. I've played a ton of Dota, and Crit actually banned me from picking Venge. He said I should never do that again. Obviously, there were some changes. Sin mentioned the damage reduction now on the swap, but I like it a lot more with spread damage carries, and there's a lot of natural synergy with heroes like ET. Yeah, Clinks is a rocket, a ton of physical damage,
right?
But I really prefer it with heroes like Luna, like Gyrocopter, Medusa, that kind of just play as both your frontliner and your source of damage. Clinks has to be a bit more mobile. You're not really something that can just stand there and hit the tower and count on any tankiness to save you.
I mean, he's set up like an assassin or one of those heroes, sort of like a Slark, right? He wants to dip in, hit a couple times, dip out, regen, sort of deal. So it makes sense that, you know, you don't want to be sitting in the middle of everyone because you're just too squishy. I mean, you get better as you go on, obviously, with the Death Pact, but
Dire's middle tower
he's
is under
walking
attack.
right under this tower, giving him some smacks. He's found himself SMG, and look at the punches here. Look, if it stopped, it's not going to be able to quite land it. Courier just wandering on through, a little bit too close to that tower and the heroes, so he will end up losing that Courier.
That's unfortunate, although, whoa, FNG, careful, my friend.
Yeah, well, he's got himself the heal, the cold embrace. Spies him just a bit more time. Doesn't have that Arctic burn to fly over the trees, so he's going to try to hide over in the tree line. But look at Q, he does so much damage. Forced to pop the Fairy Fire, followed up with the Burrow Strike. Nico maybe can't do much of anything here other than just maybe get a couple of these value clicks off, as FNG does indeed fall.
Nice dive there. They didn't take a single tower shot. They had already pushed the creep wave in, thanks to Faithbien backlanding with the Sandstorm. This is part of the reason Sand King's just such a nice hero nowadays. It's very tough if you can escape like the first 2 levels. You just farm, and there's not much anybody can do to stop you. Meanwhile, Xiao Hui doing all right mid lane. Limp is a bit ahead, but a lot of that CS is, of course, the easy camp.
Nice bit of save here coming out from S4. Looks like it's going to be able to protect the Willow. But yeah, you know, again, it's one of those things where Lip's just a fantastic mid laner, and again, he's played this quite a bit, so I'm sure he's very familiar with the matchup and knows how to best maximize it here.
Yeah, Limp is an incredible mid player, has been for some time. But I do fear for PSG.LGD in the sense that their lineup is very reliant on momentum. They're going to want to take towers, utilize a quick blink on SK to find kills.
Ooh, get that lasso for the first time over in the mid lane. Zhao 8, he's still alive, still. Nice stomp coming out now from the Elder Titan. Zhao 8, he realizes they've got nothing to cancel out the TP, so he can just run away. But it was a good rotation here from Xingqiu, just absolutely prepared for when that lasso came out.
Yeah, that's the danger though, because this Bat Rider, you know, combine it with a bunch of disengage from your Wyvern, your Mars, your Medusa. Later on in the game, it'll be much simpler for Limp, especially post BKB, just to find kills on any core. You know, they'll just follow up and drop the hammer. PSG.LGD, they have to be in the right place, right time, have extra numbers, and soon look to rotate, maybe take some early towers.
Dire's top tower.
It feels
is
like
under
PSG.LGD
attack.
recently have been favoring these very, like you said, they're high momentum drafts. You need to get started and have that snowball going, and then you need to kind of take that momentum and end the game before the other teams, usually speaking, are able to hit their peak potential here.
Limp's trying to clear the stack.
Get himself a kill out the way as Y taking so much damage. Hanskin making his own rotation. There's the root, and they just need a little more damage. There it is. A nice kill here for Hanskin.
I think he would have disjointed. I think he did disjoint the stomp. Might have been out of range as well. But really nice usage of the illusion rune. Already arcanes on Zhao 8, but I don't know. Look, I know he's the director. He's an incredible Dota player. Used to be an incredible Dota player. He's still like 10k MMR, but it's very difficult to replace.
Me too. He's higher MMR than you, Kyle.
He's playing a little more Dota, but
it does a little.
Nothing to say is irreplaceable. End of the day, Zhao 8 could be one of the best 10 players in China, but he's trying to replace a man who might be just the overall best.
Bottlenecked over here. Spear connecting over onto Vengeful Spear. Left just driving a Firefly around. Some of them
Radiant's
quite
top
enough
tower
as they will
is
end
under
up losing
attack.
Zhao 8. Nice save though coming out from the Wyvern. Will be able to get the kill on Y. You see Ame down to the bottom lane, but he gets dragged up to the high ground. There is no one there to save him. Curseground comes up. He's trying to finish off S4. I don't think he's going to be able to. They eradicate the Clanks.
That is a very difficult area to contest. PSG.LGD, they're walking up the high ground, and really nice lasso there from Lim just to drag Clinks right up, find another, and the hero is just not really great. The one guy you probably want in this fight trying to take a stack is Faith Beyond, but he was farming his own jungle in the meantime. Zhao 8, an unfortunate stun here. You're going to see it in just a moment. We slow motion, and it just didn't really hit much of anything. Ends up going down, but yeah, contesting a stack like this very difficult against heroes like Mars and Bat. We witness why.
Well, I mean, they were all bottlenecked too. It's like the perfect storm situation for a Mars. He wants you to be clumped up together, and you know, it's just very lucky that Xingqiu was just a little bit faster to get outside, but ends up paying heavily for this. The
supports as well of Alliance are just going to be more impactful earlier on, like ET Venge. Good in lane, sure, and later on the auras and the minus armor will be very effective, but you know, a level 3 Venge, you throw out a stun and a wave, but then what? That's your hero use.
Which is odd when you consider, like we said, they're trying to be very momentum-based, but they have these supports that are, you know, going to be more impactful towards the later end and stages of the game.
Like he went for a much more early offensive roaming build, you know, instead of the rush blink that you'll see mind control pick up almost every game. Phase, Soul Ring, like the Ring of Health, so this is much more about trying to control your lane and then rotating around, but it's, you know, there won't be a blink for some time, so he's going to have to be smart with the movements. They did get top tower, and now they're denying Medusa her triangle. So really nice map control from PSG.LGD. They're down kills, but they're up gold. They want to force Nico into his ancient triangle and just kind of keep him there.
Radiant's
there is a nice
bottom
stack
tower
for him, so
is
he's
under
okay with that
attack.
for now.
It's like being told, go to your room, but you have, you know, a TV and a gaming system in there. He's more than happy to go over and hit base.
Nowadays, if you want to ground your children, you got to actually send them outside. It's like, Mom, I want to stay in and play video games with them.
Bottom lane, S4 getting stunned. Curseground gets dropped. They drop the arena as well. They're going to try to make him pay for these aggressive moves. So he's already used that epicenter. Faith Beyond, though, still looking at S4. Not quite able to get the kill just yet. Hanskin waiting around. He is going to fall. He's trying to hit over the big I don't think they're going to be able to get it. S4 falling here.
Nice movement. That was huge. If they lose here, you start to feel the game start to get a little complicated, but that's some very necessary XP for Zhao 8 specifically. I think he gets like a level and a half
Radiant's
off that,
middle
so suddenly
tower
he's got
is under
max
attack.
edict, and towers can
Dire's
start to fall as he
structures
looks
are
to continue
fortified.
pressing bottom, forces the glyph immediately. Now the hood. I like that Zhao
Dire's
8, he's
bottom
still,
tower is
maybe
under
not
attack.
to say got the build from Zhao 8, but either way, it's going to be the Eternal Shroud that Nothing to Say legitimately never skips on Leshrac, partially because the hero has mana issues, so now you turn hood from a cost into a benefit as you get mana from absorbing magical damage, which you're going to take looking at the Alliance draft, but it's also one of the sources of spell lifesteal and significantly cheaper than, say, Bloodstone. They're off to a nice start, and yeah, Alliance love their team fight, but their draft certainly takes a little time to come online. The Medusa and the Bat Rider just need items before they are really looking to get involved. Limp now with the BOTs.
Look at that stack and all the just walking the spirit through. Feels good. Now, this is something that we were talking
Dire's
about the
middle
green room
tower
upstairs
is
when we
under
saw
attack.
that the Clinks was picked. I was asking, you know, which do you prefer? Because I've been seeing
Radiant's
a Crystals
bottom
build, and I've
tower
also been
is
seeing a
under
Maelstrom
attack.
build. And you had mentioned that you like the Crystals better, but is this potentially better for Ane, doing the Maelstrom?
Well, it makes a little more sense with an ET just because you're going to have the magic resistance aura on the spirit. So that makes Maelstrom procs do effectively pure
Radiant's
damage.
bottom
And if
tower
you're going to be
is under
stacking
attack.
Ancients and kind of turned into this hard carry style, you do have 2 support builds to boost your DPS output, it makes more sense. It's really just, I
Radiant
think, player
are
preference
scanning.
and about how the team likes to utilize them. Like, I think Gyrocopter is the best example of a counterpart, because some games you want the Chrysalis, some games with the Maelstrom. It's really just, you know, whatever you feel like. But when you take a bunch of Ancient stacks like this, very nice to have a Maelstrom maxed out Q. It's gonna be really cool to watch this hero. Clinks, you know, it's been reworked like 7 times, but I think we might have found something
Radiant's
here just
middle
because the hero
tower
can
is under
finally
attack.
farm creeps, which is the biggest issue for so long, years.
I was about to say, it is fairly strange watching a Clink sit here and take a very adaptive again. That's not something that you typically see in the past, because he's used to just, you know, farming heroes.
Yeah.
This is a hero that wanted to be very active early on.
Yeah,
and now he's sitting back.
Yeah, the problem with the hero, you could literally not do this. Like, you would eat a creep, he would eat that creep, farm the camp, and then run into the enemy jungle and hope to find Medusa, maybe kill Medusa. You couldn't ever just take a little moment to try and farm it. He's actually with that stack ahead of Nico Baby on Dusa, who has not had the greatest laning phase, but still he's been playing, you know, freely moving for his rotations for the last 10 minutes. 0-0-0. That's the dream Medusa KDA.
This feels like a retired Clinks, you know, like he got older in life, you know, he still occasionally takes a job, wants to go, you know, take down the enemy Ancient, but, you know, he also likes to enjoy a little me time, have a little farm time.
Just looking at the barrage tooltip, when it says so when you use that, 60% of Clinks' attack damage and attack modifiers. So does that mean it's like a lowered chance of Maelstrom proccing, or that the lightning damage is only 60%?
You tell me, Kyle, you're the analyst.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
60% attack damage. Oh, no. Okay, it's the full damage, because it's applying 60% of the attack damage and attack modifiers. Not written as clearly as it could be. Miss Clark in 8th grade English would have been very disappointed.
Well, I'm sure when she plays Dota, she will write them a very strongly worded letter about how they need to be more clear about that. I mean, we see this constantly, right? We're, you know, there's some little things that the janitor needs to clean up
Radiant's
in
middle
Dota.
tower is
I
under
think I saw
attack.
Kaze who tweet about it, like,
I think a lot of people have been.
Stop nerfing things and not telling me. What am I supposed to do?
Gotta be a big brain gamer. Gotta realize it.
I feel like this is the slowest game we've seen so far on this stream. Now, 15 minutes, only 5-3, but more importantly, both squads, like, very content to leave the Rubicon dividing the map. Acquire all resources.
Well, as you say that, you know, we go and find ourselves a fake BN here. So he's going to take a lot of damage, and he will
Only way this was gonna
picked
play
off.
out.
So some movement happening down towards this bottom area of the map. But what I think is most interesting is the fact that, you know, this Clinks is out farming a Medusa with
seriously.
Flip Shot and a Manta.
I actually think he farms Ancients faster. But it does help that he has Venge for the minus armor and the aura, but still. That's impressive.
They're setting up in the bottom. They want to try to take out Limp. Winter's Curse comes out, though. They'll have to back off. Nice moves here from Q. Skin is here, though. They'll fall to the arena. The Spear, they have the Bedlam, and they should be able to get the kill over Valley unless they get a swap off like that from White. Beautiful. Nico Baby, though, he's joined in the fight. He's found the kill. He's got that Stone Gate up and running, and he's just going to start chasing after anyone else he can get the face. Yeah, he's channeling up. He turned his back around. He burrows right forward. No mana left over here on this Medusa. They've got the heal coming out from Wyvern, but they don't have anything else to protect her. They have plenty of damage, and they just eradicate Nico Baby. FNG left behind. He's going to get stunned. He's going to get punched. He will get himself a kill. And Ame would like to get himself maybe a little bit more damage over onto S4, but he's got that blink. Mars is safe.
Yeah, I'm afraid of this Clinks. This is a scary hero, it feels like. Now going for the Scotty next. Yeah, we talked about Drow as a counter to the Dusa for similar reasons. You outrange Dusa
Radiant's
and then
middle tower
just
is under
spam
attack.
damage in. I'm afraid all of a sudden for the Alliance lineup because, you know, the Dusa is really the only source of damage. Yeah, Willow has a lot of burst. It'd be nice to help find pickoffs with the lasso, but you know, Leshrac, Clinks, they're gonna scale. And Faith Beyond is also having a nice game. Kept up with Limp in the net worth. And he'll have his blink complete. It's on the way.
I mean, that's kind of the trade-off with this kind of a draft coming out from Alliance is that, you know, Bat is a fantastic hero, right? He's one of the only heroes that can do what he does. He just got buffs, but he's not going to be able to contribute to that physical damage. So it's just so much pressure being placed over on Nico Baby to make sure he can get all the farm that he needs, all the items, and then survive. And it's a tough order.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Indeed it is. And the support duo, specifically PSG.LGD, is just going to add a lot of damage, a lot of pressure right now on FNG for not just saving his allies with the Golden Brace, but I think he needs to have that combo break turnaround in order to set up for a big arena, stop the damage that comes in from the Clinks to the Leshrac. Here comes the smoke. They don't have BKB yet on their bat.
They have a lot of information, though, because you can see Limp was sitting in the top lane, and he was just sitting patiently in the tree line. They are having more heroes, though, joining up behind that he might not have seen. They do have a ward, actually, so they should be able to see that Faith Beyond's already here. Use the dust immediately. Faith Beyond, no, Burrow strikes away and blinks, but they do manage to find Jai over here. They've got the Terrorize trying to just run them into the wall, into the spears. Leave the root off. Stone Gate's coming out. They want this kill. They want both of them. White coming in again, but he's not going to be able to save Jai. Follow up with a nice Winter's Curse. A little bit of overlap here because they do manage to drag back over on Faith Beyond. Need to finish him off, though. They need a little bit more damage. Burrow strike forward. They're in pursuit. As forward looking. Spears over to a tree. Can they finish off the Sand King? Good stop, though. Provide just a bit more time. But Limp, he's still alive. He's still able to play as he takes down 3 for a triple kill. They're looking for Ame. They want to grab this little skelly man, and they want to rip apart his bones, and they're just chasing him down, pinning him to trees, and he is dead. Some cute little cheeky play here. Says, you know, you've been working too hard. Take a nap. Please don't kill me.
Really nice job from Alliance. That ward sets up everything. I love that ward. One of my favorites to place. Very rarely going to get countered. You're going to check the high ground. You're going to check all throughout your own triangle. But I don't believe that PSG.LGD saw that one coming. So they actually get eyes on Faith Beyond. The pre-dust, he kind of panics, moves immediately away, stuns out, blinks out, but now S4 is just like, okay, that's fine with me. Arena on 2, immediate fear, lands on both, sets up for very easy kills, and then because he's pre-dusted, Faith Beyond, you can see he gets crowned there, and now just like, well, now what? And Wyvern, Lasso, if you can spend one big ulti to take out a big core, and then you still have Lasso, you still have Stone Gaze, there's just no real way for PSG.LGD to fight into this. See, Ame just doesn't really know whether or not to join the fight. He'll throw out a barrage, and then again, a Curse Crown. So all of a sudden, he's dead. Limp, my favorite core player, take notes, has his own dust. It's not my job as a support player to have dust. It's yours. You're initiating. Get in there.
I think you should still have dust as a support player too, but I think if you're a primary initiator, you should also be carrying it.
Well, the 2 dusts used in that fight, one from S4, one from Limp.
Very smart.
There you go.
They're smart players right here.
They are.
One's a TI winner.
Experienced.
Yes. So that fight going, unfortunately, very disastrously for PSG.LGD, but Alliance, they have to be feeling pretty happy right now, but looks like we are having some sort of an issue. You can see in the webcams people are moving around trying to just fix this. I have a fun story though, actually. So I was curious because Innocence, also known as Y, I was trying to figure out how to pronounce his name the other day. And I looked it up, and the Y sound, when written, is an E sound. So that's why I was saying that the other day. And I had people saying, like, why is she doing that? And I was like, oh no. And I wasn't sure if it was just Y or what. It stands for the Y, for his first name. But also someone told me that, I think it was Leon Arthur Dota, he was saying that they actually call him like Captain Y. And the phrasing for that is white white, which I thought was really cool. And I thought it was very cute the way it bounces, because we don't get to hear all this stuff over in the Western scene. And we miss out on a lot of really fun stuff. They have a lot of nicknames actually over on PSG.LGD.
Yeah, especially PSG.LGD. The Chinese memes are just operating at another level. Remember we did that interview with DM. He talks about how the Russian community is much better at flaming them. It's similar, where there's just a lot more effort put into the memes. There were like comics written and drawn and animated
that actually goes and translates all of the Chinese comics memes that go on. They're really good. They're fire.
Speaking of fire, that's a hell of a lot of damage coming out.
Is indeed. Faith Bien has found himself Dark Willow. And he's trying to get a look at Epicenter. We'll be able to get it at the very end. Now that's a pretty big team fight ulti that's down.
Radiant's middle tower
is that worth
under
it?
attack.
Is that, you know, they're just planning on just farming up for now?
Yeah, Epi is one of those weird spells where you prefer to have it in team fights, but you actually get yourself into trouble sometimes trying to set up Epi, what Blink Stun would do.
Okay.
And you get a free kill in the enemy 4, you're going to take it every time. Double stone. I love that there's now 5 items dropping per tier. I don't know how it's possible, but I would play games, didn't matter what role I was, I'd be the one guy left out. And it did seem weird. Like I feel like there must have been a conversation, you know, at the Valve HQ.
Radiant's
like, hey guys,
top tower
why
is
4?
under attack.
Like there's 5 players on the team. Why is there only 4? Like, are we trying to create hostility within the team environment? Like
we already provide plenty of that ourselves as players. We don't need Valve to help us.
Radiant structures are
like deliberately enforcing scarcity and rationing on the community. Either way, S4, Blink Hood, nothing crazy. Scotty soon to be complete on Nico Baby, just completed by Ame, so a slight edge there.
Under attack.
Roche will be the next point of contention. As you can see, warding and heroes now moving in synergy around the boss pit.
It is still just wild to me seeing this Clinks have such high net worth. Smoke play though coming out from PSG.LGD. They're looking to start some trouble. Don't have that Epicenter online, but looking to potentially set up a gank of sorts. No one though over in
Radiant's
the triangle.
bottom tower has
FNG
been
hiding
denied.
in the tree line, hugging close to Nico Baby. Wants to be able to respond in case of any sort of leaps. And they do spot over here on the side. There's been some sort of a smoke. They're breaking it. They realize that somebody invisible is nearby.
Dire's bottom tower
I love
is
watching
under
things
attack.
play Dota. This feels
Radiant's
like a great
top
year now.
tower is under attack.
Limb gets spotted, trying to barrage, just trying to take out this lasso. They have enough damage, so there's not going to be any lasso available. Although Faith Bien does get pinned over to the side. Why coming in hot though? Does manage to keep him alive. They got the extra for the He's not going to be able to get it, but he immediately gets set up by Faith Bien. He'll follow up with a curse FNG though. Ends up paying for it, and it's not enough damage to take down Faith Bien.
Limp just got totally shocked there. He had BKB, just didn't use it. Ends up tanking like 50% of his HP from just a barrage, and then stun up, gone. You saw the Maelstrom as well, really key. You're gonna watch, he gets embraced, probably trusting FNG, that'll be enough to keep him alive. But the epi magical damage and this Maelstrom proc, keep in mind, effectively it's pure damage because the natural order removing all magic resistance. So just with the spirit, Xingqiu helping out quite a bit. Only level 1 actually, but still 40%.
It's enough.
Significant.
It's enough. It gets the job done.
And that's Roche. That's
Radiant's
a big
bottom
edge for
tower is under
PSG.LGD, who
attack.
have not really, you know, a bit of a shaky start to stand in and all, but this game, you know, maybe slightly weaker laning phase from Zhao 8, but you can see that the synergy and the idea of how to play the map is still there. I feel like Ame has far more ancients than Medusa.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that because he's constantly had stacks going as well. This is going to be a very interesting hero to see like how he scales and how he plays against some of these more traditional. They have Dusk. Did FNG, he's trying to consider Deuce. Does he just use that heal? He will. And they have the Aegis over on Ame. So he's feeling very strong right now.
Now a Lotus Orb, that's a big pickup for the SK. Removes
Radiant's middle tower
the
is under
napalm stacks,
attack.
but more importantly can reverse
Dire's
either a
bottom tower
lasso
is under
or
attack.
a curse back onto the caster. And yeah, BKB next up for the Clinks. I think that's definitely the right move.
Right over to the mid lane, reveals himself. Have a smoke play over on the side of Alliance as well. So they're combing through the bottom portion of the jungle, not finding anyone.
Gotta be careful though, the Klink's ulti is fading. He wants to eat a creep before they actually get into this engagement.
Well, he can
Radiant's
take his
top
pick here
tower
over in
is
the
under
jungle.
attack.
Have a little snack before he goes murdering. I do have one other question for you. Is the... Sorry, I hear sounds. I think they're going in, and I guess they are actually going in. BKB this time coming up almost instantly. And they're going to protect S4 for as long as possible, following up with the curse.
Wow.
So they should be able to get the kill earlier on FNG.
Radiant's
Get the
bottom
kill on
tower
S4 as
is under
well.
attack.
And Hanskin, he's not going to make it out alive. So get the stuns off, and it's a triple kill now for Ame.
Yeah, this is the kind of fight that PSG.LGD are going to thrive on. That was really nice, though. Ame showed top,
Dire's
cleared the wave, and
structures are
immediately invises back towards mid, where they're already making the play. So he's not even arriving late. Alliance think they might be getting a pick off. Instead, they
Dire's
get rocked.
middle tower
Really nice
is under
Lotus.
attack.
That was the reverse curse we were talking about. Had 4 heroes all attacking FNG. He dies, and, you know, it's the team fight of Alliance. You know, the area control. The fights
Dire's
that they're
middle
winning, they're in
tower
choke
has
points.
fallen.
You take spread engagements
Dire's
like
middle
this,
tower
not
is
going to
under
work
attack.
for you. And they're going to lose tier 3 at least. The donut glyph. This is actually wrecked.
Dire's middle tower
They do have
has
to be careful
fallen.
though. The Mars is going to be up in a couple seconds. He has the arena. You still have Limp, of course, with that lasso.
Radiant's bottom
He wants to
tower is
try.
under attack.
Looking for the right angle. FNG. Ops forward. Just going to take out a ward.
Dire's
Really
middle
can't do anything
barracks
to stop
has
them
fallen.
from just taking that building. So much damage coming out from this Klinks.
Yeah, this looks legit. Ame definitely in his element. You can see really nice initiation. Look, no Lesh, no Klinks, but they're coming. They force the Mars into a rough position, and yet he stays alive for a moment, but that counter curse is just pretty much GG for this fight. You can see
It is-
Nico's like, yep, nah, I'm not a part of this.
It is so hard to see that Lotus on top of everything else. Get the little bit of the laugh going on here, like,
Double damage.
Sometimes it's like that.
Wouldn't the shard on Klinks? I'm a big fan.
I was going to ask that actually, because I have some people that don't feel like it's very value because of the way that he's changed. But clearly you like it still.
It's nice just because carry
Dire's
heroes
top
that
tower
can
is
buy
under
shard
attack.
and immediately have more damage. It's just naturally strong. Because if you look at Klinks right now, how would he acquire more damage? Through items. Like, you don't have slots. Yes,
Dire's
of course,
top
Data
tower
is more
has
effective
fallen.
than the Dragonlance or the Aegis, but it's just an easy way to add damage. And in this case, it's also
Radiant's
just annoying to
middle
play into and
tower
cancel
is
Blink
under attack.
Daggers on heroes like Bat or Mars.
But it's the timing a
And
little
you
bit
eat it,
nicer too, right?
as you just saw. It's really that you now never have to worry about having a death
Dire's
pack
top
target.
tower is
Right,
under
you pack your
attack.
own lunch, so to
Dire's
speak.
top
Exactly.
tower has fallen.
The fear forward here coming out from S4. They get a nice sleep off over on the backside. Got that Lotus up and running. S4 is going to try to be safe, and no, he can't do it. So get that FE over onto the back lines, doing a lot of damage. Not quite enough to take out FNG, but they get another stop off. Limp gets picked off here. Nice swap coming through. They're trying to protect Ame. Nico Baby looking. He just can't seem to get that final hit off. All right, there it is. That's the Aegis. Alliance holding for now. He's coming back up for round number 2.
Dire's
Just focusing
top
down over on these buildings. They jump over to Hanskin. He is just deleted.
Dire's
As
top
Ame
barracks
focuses
are
down
under
over
attack.
on the leftover racks here.
Dire's
That's
top
just too much
barracks has
damage.
fallen.
Like, the Alliance lineup just does not have damage. S4 is at 7k net worth.
Dire's middle
His
barracks
DOTA
are under attack.
is working on
Dire's
his
middle
first real
barracks
damage
has
item, the
fallen.
data list, which is not complete. You're just pretty far behind at this point in Alliance. You can see they just commit with a double stun and the heroes die.
Very nice play coming off here from PSG.LGD, and they're looking to go after their next target here in the bottom
Dire's
lane.
bottom tower
This
has
Klinks
fallen.
is the real deal. Like, I think we're going to see a lot of teams just straight up copy.
Dire's courier
Now,
has
I
been
played-
killed.
Oh, that was the dataless rescue.
And it's
I'll take your
Effie's been saying this all week already. Yes, some heroes that farm ancients got nerfed, but the concept of taking ancients and farming stacks is still like really good. You know,
Yeah, it's still
carries have to
stacking
be
that up for sure.
high level carries have to do that. And yeah, maybe Luna's not going to be pickable, but Clink certainly is. And like that's a pretty good flash farming ability.
Definitely, as we have the Ag Scepter now picked up for Y. going to be even more effective. A little bit short on that burrow strike coming off Fabian, but look at Ame. He just runs right into the back. Starts focusing over on Nico Baby. He's going to back off. Does going to respect. Doesn't want to force anything he doesn't have to just yet. Focus on the tower. It's the Alliance. They're trying to get in position. Limp trying to just punish this, trying to make it more favorable for them. HBN getting ready. They make any moves over on Ame. He's got the BKB though. S4. There's too much damage coming out. He's going to try to bulwark some of it off. HBN jumping over onto the back lines though. Gets that epicenter off. Is he going to be able to finish off FNG? Not quite. FNG going to be able to buy himself a bit more time. And HBN just a bit too far forward without the rest of the team there. Nice country curse over the back lines, but they're also slept. They'll be able to take that Hanskin. Hanskin behind back FNG. Sitting very, very low. Zhao chases after the Ame. Then over here on the side. It's going to get feared away from the rest of his team, but the stop coming out over on the back line. They get the stun. Hanskin just fought back and he is dead. Nico Baby, look at this. Ame having almost no health is going to be able to just run away. Nico Baby is running out of mana here. Why? Trying everything he can. It's a nice lane break. Here's some part. Why will fall? Not mana left on anybody else's. They do have that Ags. They're trying to make a play here, trying to get some damage over onto Limp. Not going to be able to quite do it. Can this Venge Spirit do it? Is it going to be able to? No, it's too slow with the Scotty. It was a nice cheeky play though, that Essence Ring coming in clutch.
I was gonna say, it's like this could backfire if the Venge dies. Oh man, it would have been a much better fight for PSG.LGD. There was a 6 stomp, hit 3 to help cover Faith Beyond's initiation. But Jinq, he didn't have the mana for his Earth Splitter. Otherwise, I think Alliance might just get obliterated. But either way, they get a great fight out of it. Unfortunately, Ame survives. That would have really helped them out. They are significantly behind, but it is a Medusa. You can always have a chance, always potentially recover. The data looks to be completed. Oh no, but the courier died. That's why he does not have it just yet.
It's true. I mean, yeah, like you said, it's a Medusa game. Medusa games are never over till they're over. And also, you do have a very big ultimate in your Winter Wyvern. You can turn things around if you get the right positioning. But they are big. Oh my god, look at this damage coming out from Ame. He just pokes, says, hello, I'm here, and then runs off again. That's the team teleporting over. FNG needs to be very careful. The swap comes out, the follow-up with all the stuns. And that's a dead Winter Wyvern. Does have buyback, though.
And they can't get the Megas yet. They need the tier 2 bottom. But if you're PSG.LGD, you're probably, yeah, you could see Zhao even checking the Roche. But could have been up, but nope, it'll be 2.5 minutes, so longer spawn. And you probably just look to farm the map. Maybe you swipe the tier 2 and just try and find pickoffs. End of the day, as long as you control the Alliance jungle, you don't have too much to worry about. You're going to grow the gold lead. But this is the danger of the single core lineup that Alliance tends to favor, is that if you fall behind, suddenly your carry is kind of even, in this case even a bit behind the enemy carry, but you know, Leshrac Sand King just applying so much more damage, so many more items.
That's more is it. Rest of the team following up, but he's taking a lot of damage. Might be able to get a kill over onto White. Why is okay with this though? He does have an Aghanim. They get a nice stop on the defeat for more effective from Baby. Shot the enemy center. His Hanskin goes down. Nico Baby is just trapped in a world of pain with Fabian and Zhao 8. As he will die, he buys back immediately. Limp over here with that BKB, but there's so much damage. It doesn't seem to matter at all. They get themselves a double kill. And now it's a triple kill for Fabian. More buybacks coming out. They are not ready to lose this game. But Ame, he's just beating them down. They have the lockdown, and there it is. They are just running over at Alliance, and the GGs are dropped.
I've seen Team's early GG a few times. Rare to see the production GG, but
yeah, I
end of the day, you know, good showing. But PSG, I think points like talk about a counter pick. The Mars Arena doesn't work on Burning Barrage, so. You know, you pick this hero up against ranged carries specifically, right? If that's a gyrocopter flat cannon, you're very safe inside the arena, not against Clinks. This hero is going to be a must ban. You can see the
PSG.LGD coming your way here, ESL 1 Fall Bootcamp edition, powered by Intel. First game went the way of PSG.LGD. Second game, we're about to find out who takes that one. And there has, of course, been a slight change. This game, it will be Alliance that has second pick by PSG.LGD, meaning that the sides will stay the same, but second pick, we've been talking about how important that could be, and hopefully that is what Alliance need to tie the series up here. Sind, we got another Clinks, did not get banned, actually. PSG.LGD, pick it up, first pick, straight away. Let's see Alliance answers to it, right?
Yeah, I think Medusa was not it, right?
No.
Historically speaking, Clinks' biggest problem is carries that get on top of you and just maul you, like Spectre, Chaos Knight, these kinds of heroes. Also the mid heroes, the spirits like Storm, because Clinks is fully dependent. He's kind of squishy, except during some stages with Death Pact. So connecting on him is really what makes the big difference. Don't let him stand in free attack, especially now with the barrage. I would imagine what Alliance do here is they grab Sand King +1, and that +1 could already be a Clinks counter, or I mean, there's plenty of options. I feel like Lycan should also be really good against this hero, right? Like he used to run Clinks over in the past.
Alliances turn
we have to like remember in that game, even though like that 20-minute fight allowed PSG to completely snowball, right? But before that, there were multiple engagements where Clinks would try and use this barrage and wasn't connecting on anything, right?
Right.
So I think if you look at like the mechanisms in which allows Clinks to get online, it's he farms ancients. Okay, so now think about invasion in your lineup. Take away that jungle, prevent him from just free farming a 6-stack at minute 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is allow your team to be able to support each other, so that that one stun doesn't allow for this barrage to come and kill 100 to 0 you, right? So
right.
I think it's just something you have to keep in mind. And now you see Alliance, they have their own stack takers, potentially can invade with that with Sven, and the Omni Knight take away any stun because now Clinks, if you have the Sand King, for example, he stuns, you grace it, run away, you're going to be pretty good.
And I think this fits the bill for carry that gets on top of Clinks and just kills him, right? Hey, Sven is going to eat you alive if he gets to hit you, and they're picking the Omni Knight to try to protect him and make sure that is a possibility. Also, GA, in theory, should be a good spell against Clinks. Yeah, he might have the Maelstrom component, so that part is there, but everything else should be mitigated. I do think this is a god tier Undying already, though.
I love Undying. It's one of my favorite heroes just behind Spirit Breaker. And right now, with the Shard, fun fact, you can also solo Roshan.
Because what does it do?
So the Shard, when you, first of all, it reduces the cooldown on your ultimate by 30 seconds, but also it spawns a zombie on every right click. So you pop that bad boy ultimate, you start clubbing Roshan 1v1, you spawn enough zombies,
and they will attack the target that you're punching.
They're just going for it. Nice. They're going to town. So you can.
That's the most British thing you've said all event so far. You pop that bad boy ultimate and start clubbing Roshan. Just in case anybody wasn't sure where you're from, that's... Maybe they can even pinpoint the region in the UK based on that.
Let's go. But yeah, that alone is a fun idea because, memes aside, the fact that you now have Undying Clinks together can do Roshan, for example, and of course Clinks can naturally do it anyways. But yeah, it's just a small mechanic. I hope to see it in this series, but it is more of probably a meme thing rather than an actual strategy.
So what Undying does so well in this draft for me is that, first of all, he's against 2 strength heroes, right? That's the obvious part, is 2 melee strength. But also Alliance's heroes are really bad at destroying Tombstone. And even if you're in GA, I believe the zombies still build up and slow, right? They don't need to deal damage to apply the slow, they just need to attack, so even if it does 0 damage, the effect is still there. And this kind of puts Alliance in a position where if they want to get to this Clinks in the fight, they need to get through this Tombstone that will be there, and they need to get through the burst heal that Undying also offers for Clinks. So pretty cool. I guess Clinks in theory also could spawn some more units. Do the Burning Army count towards Soul Rip? Do you know?
I don't actually know. I would assume they would though.
They might count to Soul Rip.
Yeah, but
it should be a nice little extra thing. It's not the primary point here by any means, but if they do count, that helps.
The main question I have right now is this early Undying pick, do you think it could be just the 5, or do you think they have the flexibility to maybe put into the offlane role? Like we saw Enigma with mind control run
5, 4, or 3. I think all are good here.
I'd agree.
I would, if it is Omni Sven, they're going to put Undying against it, but he can still be a 5 playing in the offlane,
for sure,
as support down there, and then they get a 4 to lane with Clinks.
They're so happy right now. Look at them.
They are having so much.
This is offlane Undying vibes right now. You don't have this much fun over a 5 Undying pick. Ooh.
Nah.
But Undying, is
Alliances
there actually
turn
potential for
to
it to be
ban.
played core? Because it's always been
100%,
5.
100%.
I think 3 Undying can be legit in the right game.
I
Absolutely.
actually think it is. Look at the bans, for example, right? Like Beastmaster, again, you're respecting Alliance there, but like Alina to kill Tombstone, and then like the elusiveness of a puck. Like maybe I'm just generalizing here to make my point sound cool, but
10
it does
seconds
feel like it's somewhat covering what at least a core Undying would not want to play into.
5 seconds
You could read
remaining.
into it for sure.
But yeah, so with the Sven pick from Alliance, if you want to be a little bit creative here on Alliance's side, you could identify, okay, maybe this will become a difficult Sven game, and since we're second pick, we get to close phases out. I don't think PL is out of the question here. He is really good against these two heroes LGD are bringing to the table right now. You could flex the Sven onto a position 4, you could flex him onto a 3, just because if PL ends up, like in LGD's minds right now, they probably place this Sven as a carry, right? It's on the Sven. Every team runs this the same way. But if you get to that stage in the draft and LGD have picked 4 heroes and PL is good against all of them, I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Alliance just completely switching it up like that. I don't think Sven is so pigeonholed as a hero that he can literally only play one role. We've seen in the past Svens go offlane and buy auras in the right game when it's necessary. So I have like half an eye on PL right now.
PSG.LGD.
Like that. Okay, they go for a Phoenix. Okay.
It's another hero that doesn't break the tombstone at all. So
yeah,
I guess Clinks, now that Clinks doesn't have strafe, he doesn't kill the egg anymore.
No, exactly.
So
it's a counter-aggressive play, right? Like the previous game, they did hold their triangle really well. They
10
punished the
seconds
PSG
remaining.
in the first 15-16 minutes of the game. It was the point in which that one smoke kind of broke them.
5
And Phoenix does
seconds
allow
remaining.
that. I think my concern is like when Clinks wants to run away, he's just going to run away, right? Like it's Sven v the world right now. Like they do need to start adding some extra lockdown. Otherwise, this will be just a casual tombstone. No one can kill. Clinks running in and out of poking around the fight, getting the Scardy, loving life. But for sure, Clinks isn't as great against Phoenix anymore. So
at the very least,
an egg counter.
Get some slow, right? So that Sven can get on top of his target. That seems like something that would be a necessity here.
As far as tombstone hitters and egg hitters go, with Lina banned out, which other traditional ones are still in? I was going to go for, is Mirana an option? We have really not seen her this tournament.
Though.
If the Undying offlane, then you like it to see an Undying Mirana lane.
Mirana's decent, especially knowing that it's in queue. I think that's definitely a possibility. What else is there with good attack speed against the egg at this point? If I'm a supporting role.
Faceless Void.
Okay, they're gonna grab the Void support first.
Okay,
so there's one. Snapfire.
Snapfire,
for sure.
okay, yeah.
So Snap Void, they get the Little Shredder against the egg. They get the Chrono plus Mortimer Kisses combination, and they have obviously the Chrono into Clinks' Burning Barrage also.
Wait, this means it isn't
a good Chrono
right?
just kills
10
here. Like
seconds
seriously,
remaining.
it's just stupid damage.
This is Snap 4, right? Undying offlane.
It could also be
5
Snap Mid.
seconds remaining.
True.
There's options still here for LGD, and the reason I like keeping the option of Snap Mid open here is that fast levels on Snap is really good against Omni Knight. Like you want something, you want to make the enemy not feel safe when they have GA running or when they have it available, and one way to do that is to put the Snap Mid. You could also just get a different mid that has even more of that type of damage.
And I think like now going to game 2 and like seeing how game 1 was played, like I'm a bit
10
concerned for
seconds
Alliance because like
remaining.
they're kind of going for the same theme with their draft, right? It's this like ultra defensive style
5
of like
seconds
we farm
remaining.
our map, we get our items, they run us, we counter initiate, we'll win the fight. And the early damage, like when we think of that 20-minute fight again, it's going to be an Ats call into an egg, Sven maybe killing a support or something. But then when you have these heroes in PSG, they want to take fights throughout the entire game. So I think Alliance, they really need to try and find that mid hero that can at least break down the game and just go 4-5-0 and then allow like the game to feel uncomfortable. Because without that like X factor from mid lane, I'm worried PSG is going to repeat from the previous game.
I'm wondering if LGD are laughing so hard because they're like, what's the 5th strength hero you guys could pick? Undying. They have triple melee strength against Undying. I'm really concerned with that. I think no matter what lane Undying goes to, he's going to be a boss.
It continuously increases the chance that it's core, right? Because the better it is against those heroes, the higher in priority you want to put it.
They're so jolly right now.
I kind of can't believe that they first picked Undying and first phase. That was a little bit difficult to say for some reason. They first phased Undying and he gets this game. Like this looks incredible to me. Because it's not only about the decay and the tombstone, it's also Soul Rip is really good against Axe. Axe is going to blink call someone. You have this burst heal save so they don't get in Calling Blade range. green.
No one kills Tombstone here.
And
right?
no one kills Tombstone at all.
But they have overall last pick on Alliance. They could still go for some gotcha pick. Now your whole draft falls apart.
They really need to solve. I'm just not. I'm not sold. Like, they need to solve some problems.
Solve the puzzle.
Like right now, the gotcha pick is some like co-op style of like killer, which you know executes Clinks a lot, maybe kills Void, but it doesn't make you feel comfortable when you, you know, join the rest of the team. Because if PSG group up, this one mid hero, this one gotcha pick, it's going to be, you know, him v the world right now, and that's why you see PSG banning out DP and Invoker. Look at that.
I am worried that they can even keep a straight face once the game starts. I mean, at this point.
Oh, this is
so for LGD, from their perspective, there's a couple of things that would be cool for their draft. I think having a targeted stun to set up both Clinks and the Snapfire would be really strong. It doesn't feel good to fully rely on the Void to land the Chronos every time. It's also a long cooldown spell. So I could see either a short duration stun, or especially something that makes Undying want to go and hit towers, right, with Tombstone. I think Dragon Knight is a possibility. The Phoenix matchup is a bit annoying, but outside of that, could be solid. Hits in Chrono with Dragon Form, gives them a single target stun for Clinks, gives them tower pushing potential. Pugna could also be a thing.
Something annoying, you know, some Viper, some DK, some...
Oh, Viper doesn't sound bad either. That's really good here, actually.
Just a hero that just exists, you know? Like, you don't need to hit tower specifically, but just soak up the... Yeah, any hero that can buy a BKB as like a first item or second item and just walk with the team and be like, come on guys, play around me, let me hit that Chrono, let me hit that big Mortimer Kisses and unlock that Tombstone to get to its full potential.
Yeah. I like all of these options. I think Razor, Viper, Dragon Knight all sound good to me.
Turn to pick.
Alright, that's why we're grabbing Ursa.
Another one that hits the egg, even though you don't really want to use, but charge for that.
Is he mid? Is Xiaowei playing mid Ursa? I mean, it is also a really good Ursa game. Like you said, it hits egg, it can beat Axe in lane, it can beat Sven in the game.
It can still be a mid Snapfire with
Undying.
Xiaowei realized how easy the Clinks was.
I can do that.
He was like, boys, stop me the ancient, I can do this.
I think most likely at this point, snap mid, support Undying and Void. So the Ursa is probably position 3.
You may now select your heroes.
For Faith Beyond, and then they play Undying in lane with that, and then they just try to absolutely dominate that lane. No, it's Xiaowei mid Ursa.
Yes, the offlane, not yes.
It is offlane Undying, and position 4 snap, and 5 Void. As expected, the Void is 5.
The mid Ursa. Mid Ursa against Pugna though. That's
a spicy lane. I feel like Pugna is very favored in this one.
He's just gonna you know decrep every single time Ursa wants to go for a creep. He might have to, you know, then jump to get it, but yeah, I'm excited.
But then you take damage.
Exactly, yeah. I'm excited to see how Ursa Pugna goes. I'm sure Pugna should be, you know, dumpstering, and of course Limp is a god at mid lane, so that should go pretty well for Alliance. But I think fundamentally the rest of their lineup is based around time, and PSG did not give Alliance any time, so Alliance have to kind of clean up their act and make sure they don't fall victim to that one clean smoke gank that they, you know, they kind of did get hit by in that previous game.
Decrepify is a very good spell this game, though. It's against Ursa and Clinks. Could be a thing.
Very bad against the Snapfire, though.
It's only the Snap ult that you need to worry about. So, oh well, I guess there's also the Soul Rip. But
is the puzzle solved?
I'm personally still not feeling it. I like the last pick from Alliance, but I just felt like from a second pick perspective, I don't think they built enough advantage during the draft. Didn't really take advantage of the first phase Undying, in my opinion. They just made him look better and better with every pick. So I like LGD.
All right, well, let's see how this game 2 is going to play itself out. We're heading over to our commentary duo of Kyle and Moxie.
Well, I know T is very, very excited because I just saw him do a cookie hop when he saw that was an off-lane Undying. But as per usual, PSG.LGD doing some different things with their draft. And, you know, tell me your expert opinion on this.
Prepare for battle.
Definitely different. The one constant I think we're going to see here is that Zhao Wei's going to get absolutely bodied in the mid lane. But
poor Zhao.
I would agree. I think that Sin made a cool point about how you expect more of an edge from the team that has second pick. And you look at this lineup, you think, wow, this is a really good Undying game. This is pretty good for Clinks. It's not what you would have hoped to see from Alliance, but I think if there's somebody to watch, it'll be Limp. Pugna is deceptive. People don't really see it as like this game-winning hero, but like remember Thompson, you know, TI8, like this hero can just straight up win games. And I think that we might see this out of Limp. He's gonna have like a completely free lane. Meanwhile, Nico Baby on Sven, I think, will be able to keep up the Clinks. Plus, the War Cry, very effective against the mass physical damage it puts out. I think more effective than DOTA in this matchup.
30 seconds
How
to
concerned
battle.
are we with the fact that there are quite a few strength heroes that Faithbjorn's going to be able to hit with the decay?
That is the $1,000,000 question.
I think you're going to sing that for a moment.
I would, but I'm still not quite confident enough to do so in front of the stream. But
Looks like that. Why? FNG, nice call out forward though, coming out from Secure. They can turn this back around. FNG running for his life. Zhao would love to start off his lane with a kill, but he does have the salve. Looking forward, do manage to get the decay off. He's just gonna stay off to the side. Zhao, he's chasing a long time here after FNG. He's just still going after him here. It's a very slow pursuit, but at this point, he's very much just has to commit to it.
Oh,
And FNG breaking the ankles, praising the omniscience as he makes it out of there and teleports on out.
that is very nice. Like, even gives Limp a little bit of an edge mid now, as he will deny a creep and get a free last hit.
And he already was going to be winning this lane. We've already discussed it, so it's a bit of a disaster here for Zhao after chasing so long, not even managing to get the kill and missing out on some of that experience.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Top is the lane that I think will be fun to watch, because Undying core against double melee strength heroes, you gotta figure Undying has the lead. I don't know how good this is. I've never seen core Undying, but I did see a Reddit video of Undying soloing Roshan, so I'm gonna say that this is very good.
Reddit is never wrong, so that's a pretty safe assumption right there. But no, I've heard quite a few people saying that they really like the idea of the Undying in that play. I know Purge also is a big fan. That was, a couple patches ago, but especially in this particular setup, when you have these strength heroes, when you can get things like a double decay or whatnot, you're feeling pretty damn strong. My concern is just how does this translate later on?
End of the day, well, the thing is, you actually can push creep waves now, which is the really nice thing after the level 10 talent change, because you get the decay damage, and I believe it's 2 decays clears the creep wave. So you can actually farm. It's a 4-second CD, it's not so bad. Previously, again, similar to the problem with Clinks, you just couldn't ever clear waves, so Core Undying has a little more viability, but I actually like what Alliance did. It's not like a counter to the Undying, but it's more of a conceptual thing where, yeah, you can't kill Tombstone super well, but you drop your own Tombstone-esque structures, the egg, the nether ward, and make it unpleasant for PSG.LGD to fight around.
Makes sense. Faithbjorn though. Get another decay off, and just like that, kills himself an Omni Knight.
Well,
that escalated quickly.
indeed. There's a lot of damage.
Well, it's making it look good so far. We'll see how it continues.
It's really nice to have Snapfire up here too, just because you have that. Undying's going to play up close and personal. You get cookied. You can see the Shredder plus the Blightstone.
It's definitely making it work. Definitely well suited here with this Undying currently.
Our flesh.
Throwing out a bit of a stun over here on Faithbjorn. Just have to be a little bit careful, sitting a bit low. Doesn't have any mana right now, but he's getting a salve brought out to him, so it's going to be absolutely fine. He's got the Orb Venom, and then of course he's got the Soul Ring for later on.
Oh, that was cool. He let the decay stack fall off, then Soul Ring, so we only lost like 60 health, then salves and heals up, so we'll get near full HP from that. Really cool trick, actually.
Good efficiency.
But laning phase so far, very much in favor of Alliance. Poor Zhao 8 in mid. This lane doesn't get any better. Once Limp hits 6, all of a sudden you have a lot more offensive pressure you can output, and Zhao 8, if he ever uses Q offensively, suddenly finds himself in trouble. Bottom lane S4, he's just backlaning now. Not much a Clinks can do about it. He's stuck with creeps under tower.
Then get another cookie hop over here. Gonna try to do some body blocks against FNG. Not quite managing to land exactly where they want. Goes to the decay. It's another kill for Faithbjorn.
Very weird build on FNG. I've yet to see anyone go for this this
Time is money.
You typically see Heavenly Grace, because that's actually the spell that people are maxing first. You put it on your Sven, you put it on yourself, and you trade, but just choosing not to go that route.
What's the mindset behind it, do you think?
I don't know, because you can't play offensive into Undying.
Right.
Not really
Radiant's
hitting
middle
him.
tower is
That's
under attack.
it's a bad place to be. You can't dispel the decay stacks, so in that sense it's not ideal, but I would imagine it would be good just for the trading. And yeah, like this is Zhao Yimei is gonna have some trouble.
Does have a water rune though, so he's going to be able to heal up a little bit, but immediately just goes right back down again. We've got nice nether, but he might be in trouble here. Limp, he's hunting. He wants this kill, but looks like he's going to focus up and just, you know, flex a little bit. This is his lane. Bottom lane, bit of a dive here over onto Ame. Hanskin trying to just finish off. Does have the first dive. They need maybe just a little bit more damage. Is it enough? Yes, it is.
Nice offensive glyph there. Prevented him from losing battle hunger for a couple of ticks, but also ensures they keep the vision, some creep damage. Really nice job by Alliance. They're just bodying the lanes right now, eking out a significant advantage. The gold's only 1,000, but they have such a big gap now in the lanes, like mid specifically, that, you know, LGD, unless they start making rotations, they're going to be in trouble. Yeah, okay, Jowie bot. He leapt in as one hit 6 with the blast, and yeah, give him the tip. That was not what you want to see from your mid laner.
It is
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Both of them over on the side of PSG.LGD here, sitting a little low, but it's too scary for them to go forward. Double clicky hop, very nicely done. They'll throw out a Stormhammer. FNG has the purification. FBM sitting very low, has the decay. They're able to take down FNG a third time. And Nico Baby is forced away. He turns back around though, considers going in. FBM, he's playing with fire here. He misses the decay. Nico Baby can punish him heavily for this. Doesn't have a stick, doesn't have a wand or anything. Oh, the cookie hop.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just enough.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That was huge. I'm really surprised they don't have a stick on Faith Beyond. Like, of all heroes that can turn extra mana into damage and survivability, you know, Undying, he'd have he might be able to kill Sven there if he just has a little bit more boost, but rushing phase boots instead.
Radiant's
Joey
bottom tower
has 6,
is under
so
attack.
he won't be as afraid of Limp, but look at that mid tower, already 280 HP, and that was the kill. Yeah, like Limp just hit 6 and oh, hello.
He tried. What else are you gonna do at that point? Although I guess then you run into the issue with your teleport being on cooldown, right? So then you have to do the walk of shame.
Indeed.
Shame.
And now S4 with a Vanguard. This is truly something that Clinks just can't really deal with, because S4's just gonna run at him.
Radiant's
take
middle
almost
tower
0 damage
has
now,
fallen.
level 6, and it's a very different kind of game for Ame, actually feeling the pressure. I think Axe significantly better suited to deal with the hero, just primarily because of the itemization. You know, on Mars you want to go the phase boots, he went for a hood, but Axe is just, okay, Vanguard, good luck, have fun, and force him out.
It's definitely a way to deal with this Clinks. I'm interested though here because again, it's an interesting thing to think about this top lane, the fact that Faithbian has been able to secure 3 kills now over on FNG, but at the same time, this Sven doesn't seem as bothered, right? So is it really as effective?
Not so far, no. You would have hoped they'd be able to secure more, like, a creep advantage, but it's tough because, you know, Nico was just shoving the lane. Shoving the lane, FNG would pull, go stack, and I think that again, you know, I haven't seen any offlane Undying, nothing to go against, but I'm very surprised whenever I see an offlaner completely forgo items like stick, you know, no extra mangoes brought out now, Faith Beyond. Get him up on.
Nico Baby gets hopped upon. Do they have enough damage? The decay comes through. One more hit would be able to do the trick, and it's ZQ who will clean up Nico Baby, and possibly they will get another kill on FNG as they're just running after him. Pops the launch charges. Need one more hit, and it's a double.
I take everything I said back. Those phase boots coming in clutch. The extra bonus damage, but there's the stick. Okay, I still didn't credit earlier, but either way, they get the double kill, so you're happy now. Main issue though is that mid lane they've now lost the tower. Limp spot the DD has an Aether Lens complete and maxed out QW at just 8 minutes into the game. This is scary. This is the kind of Pugna game that we were expecting, because now you've got 2 pretty tanky cores in the side lane, so you just start rotating, spamming blast. How do you fight Pugna right now? Who kills him? Where's the magical threat? Like, he's gonna just have a free game for the next 5-10 minutes.
You feel like they kind of have to expect this though. Whenever you see a Pugna come up, especially against something like, you know, an Ursa in the mid lane, he's going to lose his lane. He's going to lose that tower swiftly. So it feels like PSG.LGD, they're a good team. They're a team that's going to witness, or rather recognize, this is an issue. This is how we're going to play. So I'll be interested to see how they adjust on this, because we already know their plan. They want to make stacks, they want Ame to take them. I'll be interested to see then if Alliance can kind of cripple this and, you know, realize he's going to be taking stacks. We need to go over to the triangle. We need to, you know, place the pressure on this particular tower, rotate Nico over with the rest of the team. Very interested to see how everyone adjusts.
Indeed, and you see, PSG.LGD, they were ready to defend that. They brought the Undying. Chrono, it's actually the time dilation that Limp fears most, but nothing doing, so they're forced to now smoke, look to make a move.
It looks like they're thinking about wrapping here. They know S4 is over on the side. Yep, we're gonna look to converge. Forward here, S4 getting some of these stacks up. Cookie hop forward on Baby, even dropped the tombstone, and that's a dead S4. But look at this invasion. I was talking about this. They knew that he wanted to have these stacks, so they're going to punish them by having these people that are able to tap the cleave, take out these stacks quickly. And there's not much right now that PSG.LGD can do about it.
I think all that is huge. And like, there you go, learn from the last game. Like, you are not about to allow Ame this free triangle ever again.
Ooh, and they find themselves Ame over here. That's slow coming out from FNG, and Hanskin getting a little nervous there, I think. Was like, let's make sure that we get this kill.
Yeah, but that's like, this is just a huge lead. Like, poor job, I mean, remember, this was last pick Ursa. He has no game. I just, it's going to be tough. Like, Ursa of all heroes, like, you don't have a farming mechanism. You can't just go farm Ancients. And meanwhile, Ame, his game isn't great either. Faith Beyond is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting.
Bottom tower
and it is
under
a
attack.
fantastic Undying game, but the question is, will Alliance take those bad fights and allow the decay stack to overwhelm them?
S4, he'll get the tower, but it's looking like he'll pay for it with his life. Second death here for S4.
Yeah, but he gets tower. Somebody's got to die on the side of Alliance. Like, they're playing 3 lanes and the jungle. It is very difficult to get away with that.
I mean, it's just providing even more space. Like, Limp is just, he's sitting very pretty right now. Nico Baby's allowed to hit all the creeps that he likes. I think that's perfectly fine. Does hurt a little bit because I'm sure, you know, his forward did not want to die. Would love to, oh, he does have the Blink Dagger here, so.
Great vision from this ward.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
To the opening, why? Holding in place, there it is, the Mortimer kisses. They've got their attention on some bigger fish here. They want Limp. Don't quite have enough damage though, as he gets that drain off again, and they'll get the kill on wide. Hanskin though to fall. S4 going in with the call of gun. He's gonna roll plays and get a dunk off. That's a
Dire's
dead
middle tower is under attack.
That's a cute idea from PSG.LGD, but there's just not nearly enough damage. Like, why? You click on him, he's got brown boots. It's like the time dilation wasn't effective yet. Limp hadn't cast a spell.
Radiant's middle
and
tower
yeah,
is
you've
under
got the
attack.
kisses, but you know, no other damage whatsoever.
Dire's top tower
Xiaowei
is
and
under
Ame were
attack.
just happy to get a little bit of space on the side lanes to farm creeps. They're so far behind. And Nico wasn't even there. He's still just hitting creeps. Now gets the Ancient stack of his own.
This is a much more comfortable game for Nico Baby. He's got the power of Limp, honestly, just really kind of holding his hand and saying, don't worry, buddy. I will take care of it now so you can take care of me later.
I also just feel like it's a lot more comfortable watching him play Sven than Dusa. Like, Medusa just doesn't seem... You know, Nico's a talented guy. I want to see him on a hero that can actually create, like, game impact. Whereas Dusa, you're just relegated to, like, triangle. Like, you're in second grade geometry.
There's a call. Let's move forward. The hits and
Radiant's
dead
courier has been
courier as well, with a decent amount of loot on it.
That was his Maelstrom. Dead for 2 minutes.
That's huge, actually. Pick, 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 pick. I love this item, I swear. Right, jumping forward, immediate egg comes off, though they don't want any sort of chronosphere, anything locking them into place. And it's just a dead Y.
Good day, sir.
We get Tombstone. I don't know.
Fabian, what was happening over there? It was life there. Thank you. Too many fights going on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, it's an AK gold lead. Whenever you see a game, 8,000 gold. Look at it, it's 8-7. But
They're
DOTA
just playing the map
yeah,
very efficiently.
It's not about hero kills anymore.
He's forced to pop the enrage and run away. Uh-oh, Ame's thinking about it. Has to be careful though. Cookie hop forward. There is an S4 nearby, though. Hanska taking a lot of damage. He is going to fall.
Into that last barrage, it looked like. Nice kill. You need those on the side of PSG.LGD. Try and recover. They're getting up to a point where they'll have some items. The Maelstrom will be for the Clinks as soon as Courier respawns, and Zhao narrowly approaching the defusal timing. It's going to be big.
FMG just happens to be in the wrong neighborhood to get to the Guardian Angel. They'll follow up with the Chrono, but you can't hit anything when the GA is up. Although you can hit them with magic, so they're able to follow up here from S4. They get the hit off over onto Ame. They're looking for more, but the teleports are coming out. S4 trying to run. Doesn't have much armor left now. He's forced to just try to buy time for Nico Baby as he goes right back to hitting crepes.
Yeah, Limp had unfortunately just TP'd top.
Radiant's
you figure,
top
you know,
tower
get the
is under
BMG so he can
attack.
stay involved globally, but unfortunately that just moved to the other corner when that engagement went down.
Have to be careful. Faith Bien joining with Y. Hanskin. He's slowed quite a bit. He doesn't have the eggs, so he is going to get scrambled. And that Stormhammer coming in slows down just a little bit, but CLGD has to be happy with that quick pick off here.
It's wild to me that PSG.LGD are able to do this sort of thing. Like, I'm just thinking, like, wow, they're so out of this. They're done for. How are they going to find kills? Then they get the pick off mid, they get another one, and then a great fight. Excellent Chronosphere, and the time dilation's been on point. Yeah, 10 out of 10 on the net worth chart, but Faceless Void with max time dilation is still incredibly impactful. And Alliance just have to shake up a bit.
Oh, not even able to get the dunk off because Lip kills him too quickly.
Radiant's top tower
But he
is
got
under
it.
attack.
It's worth. I like this build. This is something I see Thompson do a lot, you know. Just a null, Aether, bots, Octarine. Feels really nice. More tower pressure. You get 100% uptime on the ward, and your decrep is very nice. Yep.
Radiant's top tower has
Axes
fallen.
is primarily just killing creeps so that his creeps can hit tower, but Limp doing a lot of direct damage. Faith Beyond has the hood. I don't see
Radiant's top
Alliance.
tower
They're
is
still in
under
control.
attack.
They got great team fight. They just have to recover a little bit. This is nice from Ame just to invade. Still enemy ancients. At this point, you kind of just have to trade triangles. Poor Zhao.
This bear has been poked out relentlessly. I do like the way that they're kind of playing. Like, they have S4, you know, typically you want to be able to have this
Radiant's
axe, you know, get
middle
those spins and
tower is
whatnot.
under attack.
But using him as just the person to hold everything in place so Limp can get off the life drain and get the maximum amount of damage.
That's a good smoke. They cleared out top of it.
Oh, they find themselves again, and they'll get themselves a kill on Undying. Y now forced away. Teleports are coming in. Ame looking to possibly be a part of this. It's scary when you consider that they don't have Faith Bien. And Zhao 8 is not particularly. Yeah, look at this. He just tries. He like shows up. He's like, I got it, guys. Don't worry. No, they got you, Zhao 8. They got you. There's the Chrono. They feel more of her kisses, but again, they have the Guardian Angel. It'll buy them some more time, so Ame can't put up that damage he wants to. They turn right back around
Radiant's
again
middle
as they're able to
tower
take
is
down
under attack.
Y. These Chronos are beautiful, but they just don't have the damage. They might be able to take down the Phoenix. Indeed, they will with the scatter blast, but S4 chasing it down. Gets the call up, holds into place, just gets that life going on, looking for the dunk, and there it is. But look, he does have to be careful now. He's got the Decrepify. He's gonna just have to teleport away as S4 has already
Radiant's
made his own
middle tower
retreat.
is
I
under
got Nico
attack.
just was like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go farm. But that was just nice execution. Amazing positioning from FNG. That's the reason the fight is secured. I believe Limp certainly dies in the Chrono if he had stepped out into it. But instead, you know, GA, Grace, heal, and then Limp all of a sudden doesn't even have time dilation on him. He's still free to work. Faith Bien. Very intimidating
Time is money.
looking, but thus far feels a bit ineffective. And I mean, at least more effective than my man Zhao. Poor Zhao, this is just not a good game for the bear.
It's just hard. It's just so very hard for him to get anything really done. I would say, you know, that was the thing I was most concerned about was the impact that Faith Bien was going to be able to make later on, right? Because he absolutely dominated the laning phase. Looked very, very strong. Got 3 kills on FNG, but now it just feels like it's a little clunky trying to figure out how he exactly fits into all of this. Especially when you look at Alliance's draft, you know exactly how they want to play it.
Dire's
And
top tower
simplicity is
is
key.
under attack.
Yeah, it does feel like the Ursa's a bit out of place.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's kind of similar to the Clinks, you know, burst physical, but there's just so much to control you. And it really feels like some sort of spellcaster, anything that did,
Radiant's
you know, maybe not the Leshrac into a Pugna, but
Dire's
something
top
that
tower
provided you with more
top
team
tower
fight.
has fallen.
The bottom.
What would you have liked to see them?
Never.
Obviously, Invoker was a great last pick here, but
I think Invoker was banned as well as Death
Radiant's
Prophet
bottom
actually
tower
by
is under
PSG.LGD. I wouldn't have minded either one of those heroes.
Radiant's
But AoE
bottom
control
tower
the sun.
has fallen.
This is nice, though. You do have Ursa, so
look at the teleports. Look at the teleports. Look at them. They're just all
Dire's
running here. They're like,
top tower
something's
is under
up. Something
attack.
doesn't seem right. Hi, Faith Bien. Back off.
guys.
I see Ame nearby. They might be able to finish this Roach, though. They're hesitating. They do have Y nearby as well, so if they try to jump in,
Roshan has fallen to the
they'll be
Radiant.
punished.
It's huge, man. Alliance could have potentially ended the game with one swipe there if they were able to kill heroes plus take the Aegis for themselves, but not wanting to risk it. It is tough to invade blind into a Chrono. Tombstone already dropped.
Get some.
Okay, we're diving.
Yeah, we are definitely diving. He's right on in. This Blink doing a decent amount of damage against this Ursa. Nico's pretty far in. He has the BKB Chronosphere coming out, and he's got the egg going, but he just doesn't have enough attack speed here. This is going to be an egg that's going to pop, and then gets the kill online. Age is already removed. This tower is going down. S4, he's waiting patiently. He knows he's got a kill waiting for him as he takes
Radiant's
down
middle
Zone 8,
tower
and
has
they march
fallen.
right on into the base of PSG.LGD.
Man, what a ball.
Radiant's middle tower
They're
is
just
under
initiating
attack.
on the tier 3, but I really like that from Alliance because they
Dire's
understood
structures
counter
are
initiation was
fortified.
coming, so Nico Baby just sort of, you know, he was going to be isolated. Immediately the egg comes out, so that just kind of cancels the Chrono, and they're all of a sudden way out of Tombstone. Hey, it's just really nice play.
Try to get the cookie out over to S4. Ame, of course, does a decent amount of damage,
Radiant's
but
middle tower has been denied.
it's just looking a bit more difficult for him to get engaged in these fights.
Yeah, it's still very impressive. A 10k gold lead almost for Alliance, 15-14. PSG.LGD certainly still in it, but I think they're going to need that next round of items. The Aghanims on the Undying is pretty sick. It takes the strength steal from 4 to 10, and then all of a sudden long fights really start to tilt the side towards this Radiant side. But I don't know.
Look at this aggression coming out from Alliance. They know that they're so strong right now, and they're just looking for their next engagement. Look at the Sneaker Babe coming right around the corner. Already has that heavily great. Jumps forward. Oh, leave it alone. Poor bear. Silly old bear.
S4 would have grabbed another had he landed that call, but yeah, Nico Baby has DD.
He's not afraid of anything. Look at this
Okay.
man.
Radiant's
Doesn't have an
middle
Aegis.
barracks are under
Ulti ready.
attack.
He just waddles right on in. Gonna rejoin the rest of his team over here on the side. They know there's no
Dire's
Chronosphere, there's
bottom
no
tower is
Snapfire
under
Kisses.
attack.
Headband can drop a Tombstone and maybe drop a couple decays, but that's not enough to make them leave your base. Alright. A little play, forward, backwards, you know. Give them a little fright.
Radiant's middle
They end up
barracks
taking the
has
other
fallen.
axe.
Yep, and
Dire's
even
bottom
conserved
tower is
their,
under
their
attack.
ultimate on Nico Baby, so they're still ready to fight. Had they utilized it, it would have been an opportunity for PSG.LGD to grab the respawn, perhaps chase them out of base. But with the BKB on your Sven as well, you're just not very afraid of anything. And oh no, why? Why do you do this? Has to check. You know, you gotta try and control vision, but Alliance wisely just camping the triangle.
Yeah. I don't know how they stop this right now. Like, you can see Ame is just trying to push out some waves here. Nico Baby right in.
Maybe not the tier.
Maybe not the tier 4s, you know, but okay, the follow-up from S4, though that's pretty darn good, as they'll be able to take down Faith Beyond. And they can
Dire's top
start
tower
applying
is
even more
under
pressure. The
attack.
BKB already popped the Nico Baby. He's gonna go bottom. He's gonna apply pressure with the
Radiant's
rest of his team.
bottom
Look, acting as a
tower is
little
under
battery
attack.
here. Gonna be able to heal people up.
That's pretty sick. Like, that was really nice play
Radiant's
from Alliance.
bottom tower
S4 and
is
Nico
fallen.
Baby's done a great job kind of baiting on spells, covering one another. And you don't want to dive too deep, but you want to bait these abilities. As soon as somebody gets cookied in, they become a really tasty target. You're gonna see he's just baiting here, he's just chilling, hanging out. Comes the cookie.
Blessings.
And then you can even see like he BKBs, he's turning around, S4's already in. a little to the left, and maybe he gets both, and they get a free snap fire as well. But either way, Scotty complete on Clinks. That's big for Ame. Should be able to help Kite just a little, but at this point, you need some miraculous ability placement, like 4-man chrono. Somehow, there's a target Zhao can hit on the outskirts. Another reason the Ursa maybe not ideal here, because you just don't have a tool to deal damage here. You're taunted, then you're decrapped, you're stunned, then this guy turns into an egg. You can't deal damage into the chrono. It's just really rough for the director.
I just love how ridiculous it sounds. Like, you know, you're taunted, you're decreased,
Radiant's
like, normal
bottom
things. Like,
barracks
this guy
are
turns
under
into
attack.
an egg. Like, how am I supposed to deal with that? I love it. Daedalus completed now for Nico Baby. He's already hitting hard. He's about to hit even harder. Shoot chops, and you're out of here, friend. Why falling? Bien drops the tombstone. They're going to back off. Hanskin needs some help here. He doesn't have egg available, so he's going to try to do a quick move out of the way. Snapfire Kiss is coming in. They'll use the Guardian Angel. Now was looking for the opening. Egg does indeed pop. Nico Baby dropping right back in again. He just slaughters the director. And he is going to get chronoed, though. Do they have enough damage? They should be able to take down FNG, but S4 over the back line was able to get himself a beautiful call and just buy them more time so that they could safely take Nico Baby out. And they'll try to keep that battle going here from Limp, but eventually they take down Nico Baby. S4 on the run, decapitated by Limp, as everyone on the side of Alliance starts backing out. Nice play here with that little ward. We'll be able to just slow them down just a little bit here, put a bit of damage. And Limp, he's trying, he's getting chased down. The Decrepify, though, again, buying him enough time where he can teleport safely away.
PSG.LGD, I don't want to speak too soon. They might like be in this game. The Aghanims on Faith Beyond, he had 64 strength for a time. Like, he's actually pumping out a ton of damage, and that just removes damage from the Sven as well. In addition, you know, Ame just hits way too hard. Like, I don't know if the Q is balanced, I'll be honest. He just came out of Invis, gets the Skellies down, and then, you know, S4 had a great call. It wasn't enough. Like, Ame just kills everybody. Well, let's just fight again. It's an immediate
chop chop.
Yeah, 1671. I believe that was the year of the Magna Carta, but either way, 100% to 0. Void will buy back. Nice initiation from Zhao 8, forces the egg, and then pops ulti, so it doesn't take too much damage. The GA utilized maybe a bit early as well, because now they don't have it for the chrono, which is going to come in momentarily. But just watch Ame pumping in damage. Like, he's hitting Sven and just straight up kills the Omni Knight. Like, right here, S4.
How much more they would have done if S4 had got that call right then. Yeah. That moment. That was actually so well played. Why? Ooh, the nice thing about the yo-yo effect, but unfortunately not clever enough here. Not this time.
Now no buyback, so do you push is the question. It's really tough to play heroes like Sven against Scotty's. Clinks now has one.
Dire's bottom
Had one for a
under
while, and
attack.
now going for the nullifier next, so a bunch of damage. It could also potentially prevent BKBs in addition to purging the Guardian Angel.
Limp. Hello, friend. He has the dust. Spurs here, gets the call off. They've got the taunt. He's got the blade mail, the life drain. This is looking pretty darn good. As there's no buyback here
Dire's bottom
on
tower
Ame.
is under
A
attack.
dragon scale axe. He still almost died to the Clinks. That's insane.
Nico Baby on the hunt. Sees Xingqiu here. Hops forward. Oh, Xingqiu just a little bit faster. It's the team. They don't have Ame for 57 seconds.
Sven has ulti pops. Is this really the move you want to make?
Sven's a big boy.
Got good vision.
He's gonna blink forward. He's going for it. Seems like they just want to go, but yeah, the BKB immediately here from Nico Baby. Doesn't have to. Oh, he walks into the Chronosphere. Oh no. Not enough damage though to do much. So it looks like the Chrono held in place, but that's about it for now. Hanskin's already in the base here. He's just trying to get a little bit of space. Goes for the egg. Nico Baby's here. They're gonna be able to pop it. Nico running on in. Wants to get the kill on. Why that's a big crit. Oh baby. On the back lines, S4 is just trying to fight this massive undying. He needs his battery help coming up from Limp, because he's just so tanky. They get the kill on Limp. That way coming in hot. Is he going to be able to finish the kill over on Zhao 8? Nico, he has the Guardian Angel. He's buying them some time, but the Guardian Angel is going to be enough. Look at Fabian, he's so tanky. 5,300 health. Nico Baby has to blink up to the high ground. Do they have the vision? Can they get there fast enough? No.
Oh my goodness, dude, this Undying. Like, I don't...
Are you a believer yet?
I'm definitely a believer, considering how bad this game looked. You know, behind like 10k gold at 15 minutes, they've stabilized, and the Undying, like, you can't really target him anymore because he hit a 4-man decay and just immediately gained like 1600 health.
And look at this, in the back lines, S4 has been hunting. He was trying to get this. He's just a little bit off the screen.
This is Hanska just getting a little too aggressive. If his team's a bit closer, perhaps you can cover. You may have wanted to trust in his Pugna there, but watch this. Like, they go 5th beyond. This is worth all game. He's got active hood. He still has stick. Decay so aggressively, didn't even need it to heal himself, and then the damage is just unreal. And if they, oh man, this decay just a little off, otherwise they get that kill. Would have been really nice to take out this Sven.
They do have the Aegis online though now for the Clinks, so it's got to be feeling a little bit better for this time for PSG.LGD.
Yep, and the shard given to...
that is nice for the Flash Golem.
Yeah. They have one now on the Snapfire as well. So the point blank Scatter Blast will now stun.
Anything they can do to try to lock down these heroes. They're just being allowed to kind of skirt around the edges.
Gold and sweet.
A lot of this as well is, you know, yeah, he's died a couple times to some crits, but as far as game impact goes,
the jungle from S4. He's gonna get decrepified. Limp waiting over on the back line. Nice Chronosphere coming out from Y. He's gonna hold him in play to allow them to finish up over onto S4. Snapfire Kiss is coming in, perhaps a little too late. FNG though with the Glimmer Cape. They have the sentry ward. Can they get the final hits off? No. FNG's going to survive, but look at this. Look at the rest of the team. They're on the way. Nico Baby using the Sparklex, turns around, chops down Y. But Fabian, he's a big tanky boy. He's got the whip. He said, come back here, FNG. We're not ready to get rid of you just yet, but can't quite find him. Look at this guy.
Yeah. I know he's dying a bunch, but I was just about to say, like, why on this Faceless Void? You won't find many 5 positions to have more game impact with less net worth. Like, this time dilation, he's getting sick chronos off. And yeah, Alliance, I think they're going to make a smoke move. Indeed they are. They still have their big spells. I know there's no chrono. It would be a great window here.
I mean, Wise, the way that he's performing, you know, even just with like the Chronosphere, right, is very similar to something like a Clockwork. It just takes a couple heroes out of the fight so that, you know, they can't do anything. Nico Baby signs himself a Snapfire. Goodbye, Grandma.
No bye.
And Joey immediately hightailing it the heck out of here. Limp already teleporting to these creep shots, jumping down over to the low ground. They want... Need to push out the lane here.
That's so
oh, Ame doing a lot of damage here to S4. Now he's going to go on the retreat.
Went for the BKB before Nullifier. I think I like it here because Decrep offensively would have been annoying. The Fire Spirits, it's just tough to play properly. This ensures they'll be able to position effectively, allow the Chronosphere to provide a lot of the control. And yeah, it looks like the shard primarily for Clinks you needed, just so you always have the death pack.
Nico Baby, he's gonna spider leg BKB out. Ame though jumping over onto the back lines. They don't quite have the vision though, as he has Glimmer Cape and the Force Staff. Careful, going in for the call. They have Limp over on the high ground. They're trying to just take out the Faceless Void, and they will be able to do it with the stun. They feel that he's very tanky. Nico Baby throwing out the stun shot. Ace forced to run away. And they have this drain, though, coming out from Limp, doing a decent amount of damage over on the back lines again. Ame to fall. Ame, though, still putting out a lot of damage. S4, he's got to be very careful. Just moves off to the side again. Limp doing the little battery dance that he can do as a Pugna will be able to ensure S4 is still part of this fight as they go in again with that Storm Hammer. They've got some of the damage here. They have enough that was required from White. Does have the Chronosphere if they need to just try to disengage, but he's got to be very careful. Nico Baby just chopping them down into pieces, breaking those bones apart, and it looks like they'll finally be able to take out the Aegis for the first time. But it's coming up a second. There it is, the call. Followed up here. Y trying to find the angle, trying to figure out what's the best play here. S4 taking a lot of damage. They have the Decrepify, the little battery coming out, but they grab up the Pokemon. They have the Guardian Angel. Fabian finally falling over after the next to go down. Jin will also fall. Ame though, he also gets murdered as Y gets taunted, upheld into place and just sucked dry.
Nice fight from Alliance. Really good.
Dire's
So just
top
kind of
tower
kiting
is
around,
under attack.
ensuring that they got on top of Ame, but more importantly, there was no snapfire for that initial engagement. LGD playing with just 4. He pretty much respawns, TPs, dies again. Clinks has bought back, but now the net worth disparity is insane. And Sven, you can see, yeah, Clinks can kite, but if you actually get up close and personal, like Ame cannot go toe-to-toe. And I love that he went for the stun duration instead of the god strength, because he just needs people to stand still so he can hit him.
Place. That's been the name of the game for Limp this entire time. That's what S4 has been used primarily for in the early game. Look at this damage, though.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
That's Rax number 2. No chrono, and yeah, Limp, you know, just keep pushing, keep getting stuff done. I like the stacking CDR with the quickening charm, so he's very happy as a pug. And you can see the blast on what is that, like a 2.7 second CD? No, just 3 flat.
I mean, all eyes were on Limp this game, and I would say he has definitely exceeded those expectations with the way that he has played.
Oh, for sure. He had 5-1 and 19. I think the one death was just to a chronosphere where he got all in, so he's got to be happy. Gonna have the Hex finished up soon. Do they just, again, they need more control. That was what was missing, and this pesky Void will have some serious problems if he tries to leap forward any longer. 0, 13, and 12 on the Void, but don't let the score fool you. He has played quite well.
Bit of a stun here over onto Nico, baby. He's got the BKB, though. FNG is here to save him as 4 following up, has the call. And they'll do a decent amount of damage over here. The egg actually forced out here by Amish. That way, he should be able to get the kill on the Phoenix. Nico, baby, now forced to run away. FNG will fall. S4 already popping that BKB. Has to be careful. Cookie hop forward. Again, he has the BKB, but they're just hot on his heels. I don't think S4 is going to be able to survive this. It's going to take something short of a miracle. And unfortunately, the gods aren't listening today for him.
PSG, they just keep finding these openings. It's unbelievable. Like, the damage output, you saw, like, Nico, baby, he just had to run from undying snapfire, like 2 decays.
Top tower is under
He's
attack.
like half his health is gone. That's a tier 2. That'll open up the outpost. I mean, not bloody beaten perhaps, but not out. Their base is in trouble. But Faith Beyond now with the blink tagger, like
What a boss.
Even if they lose this game, I think Core Undying certainly has something to it. Like, look at this damage. Any follow-up, any kind of stun, if Xiao Weight's closer, that's just a kill. I'd laugh too.
He's having a good time here.
I'm going toe-to-toe with the enemy Sven, who has near twice my net worth.
Bounty! I think what it comes down to for Alliance is they have to be the ones who engage first. Because I would say S4 is so incredibly key to being able, especially if you get more than one hero. Yeah. Obviously, you've got high priority heroes, but if you can get multiples, and also if Nico Baby can find a stun opening, that just solidifies them the fight it feels most of the time, because that allows Limp to sit back, he can go and put out that heal.
And you saw the Observer mouse over. The talent's acquired.
Yes.
1.5 second on the Decay CD. So now it's with the Charm picked up. 2.2 seconds on a 10 AoE strength steal. So if you take these fights and they last too long, this Undying will suddenly have like 10,000 health.
Middle tower
You're going to be in big trouble. Zombies galore. Going for the overwhelming blink. Oh. If they can pull this off, now a Prism, even better. More CDR.
Or are we going to get a fun Kyle betting thing?
Are
we going to wager something if they can pull this off, Kyle?
No. I've learned my lesson. I like my hair. I like my clothing. I am not going to wager anything on my body. Alliance, though, they are wagering on this smoke. They're going to move forwards into the enemy jungle. There's only the 1 Rax remaining, and PSG.LGD, they are playing quite conservatively. They'll smoke up themselves. Yeah, Roche spawns in a minute, so they want to take control.
Dasher online for this Ursa Bear. Working towards getting that nullifier now on Clinks. The high ground to low ground, though. S4. Smoke breaking. Finds himself an Ame, but the Chronosphere with the backline from White. He's going to be able to hold 3 of them into place. Baby, I'm getting these beautiful, beautiful decays. It's looking a bit scary right now. As Alliance. Nico Baby's just on an island all alone. What? Too aggressive, perhaps? Or just didn't realize the rest of the team couldn't move forward?
Don't walk up the high ground with no vision. It was on my Spotify earlier today. Stuck in my head. Alliance, though, they weren't listening, and they go straight up into a yet another insane Chronosphere from Y. As you said, Faith Beyond getting insane decays on the high ground. Like, you just can't do that. Yeah, I know you had a huge lead. They have no vision. They're just walking up the hill. Yeah, nice initiation from S4, but excellent BKB. And yeah, like, Of course this is going to happen though. And they actually
Dire's
did.
middle
Xiao
tower
Wei was
has
able
fallen.
to deal damage into the chrono of how it was placed. So they end up killing off the Phoenix. And Roche is spawning. Roche spawning in 6 seconds. And Nico Baby is like, ooh, I don't know. 6k gold. Like, the game is even. Here's Roche. What's he got? A free Aghanim Scepter for somebody? I don't know, Mark. It's getting scary. Alliance, you were supposed to teach Liquid a thing or two, not learn from them.
It's a pretty impressive couple team fights that we've seen taken by PSG.LGD. This is, you know, Alliance, they had him on the ropes for sure. Early on, you could see that Ame was just, you know, held back, but they do end up giving him the burning army here. He'll be the one to receive the Ags. I have to say, the impact of Faith Beyond's Undying and this Chronosphere is coming out from Y. They're just so important, so integral.
The void support is sick. Like it is just really fun to watch, and this guy certainly knows what he's doing. And just wow, they have a gold lead now, Moxie. And this is historically, you've never been able to count out. Like there's this old, I think it's an ROTK line about how advantage is nothing, can you high ground? And when it comes to PSG.LGD, all throughout their history, like they're not going to give you the win. They're on the ropes, but like none of the fights they took were just bad. Like they didn't bleed kills. They were losing fights to Alliance because they were getting outplayed, but they make you continue to outplay them if you want to get the win. Even 2 racks down, it just feels so hard. Like, they're ahead in this game now. Ame's top number all of a sudden. Oh
boy, that is a very big surprise as Faith Beyond not going to be able to get a that's taking so much of the Guardian Angel coming into play here. Spore with the BKB and the Angel should be able to survive. Nico Baby, he's hunting for someone that he can actually hit as he is being guided. Sorceries going to be used as well as the Heavenly Grace. See Hanskin hoping they can get someone. They do manage to find a very nice target in the form of Ame. He is alone. He's about to be coming right back up again. And he's not going to be lonely because he's got a lot of, well, maybe not friends, but people around him. And then he's just going to be dead. There's no buyback on this Clinks.
He has it in 30 seconds, but I guess apologies for the jinx, and you're welcome, Alliance fans. They somehow find an insane team fight. Great positioning. They had vision, 3 wards surrounding the battleground, and they just blew up the Undying. How much health did he have? 3,000 health, but apparently just not enough armor. He got exploded, obliterated, no decays.
Radiant's middle tower is
maybe
under
just go
attack.
throne here if you're Alliance.
They do have a Chronosphere from Y if they want to try to just buy a bit more time, but it's not going to be enough time, I don't think, here. Look at this. Fortification will come out.
They'll have their Clinks soon. No, they won't. He didn't have gold. Who cares about the Kula? He has no gold for buyback.
That is...
He's got to like drop items or something.
Looking for something. Does manage to Chronosphere 3. Again, buying just a little bit more time, but it's just buying time. That's all he can do is use it.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
It's just a very tanky boy smacking away over here at Limp. He's cooking him down. Dead Magna. They're forcing them out of the base. FNG. Now he turns around. He's like, oh wait, didn't we kill you? No, not yet. Nico Baby with the spider legs running for his life here. We've got so much decay going on. Faith Beyond is a big boy, 6,800 health.
I need...
And Nico Baby, he just... as far he just has to run.
I need a replay and a DPS meter. Holy shit. 5,000 damage dealt. I feel like he did the brunt of that in like 3 seconds. And... Ale's still dead. Alliance just got wiped. 4 against 5. Okay.
Bold and sweet.
Undying 4. You've seen it here first, ladies and gentlemen. And let's run it back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, he gets hexed, but I guess he's just a distraction, right? Nice chrono comes in, and this is like, it's still all looking fine, right? No big deal. Right. We're okay here. And then all of a sudden, here comes Faith Beyond.
Here comes the big boy.
What? Hanskin legitimately exploded. Great scatter blast there from Jin Q. The stun prevents the egg, but at the end of the day, just unbelievable amounts of burst damage from heroes you really don't expect it from.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
DOTA.
Dyer's middle tower has fallen.
I love seeing new stuff, especially, you know, I'm not even sure if it's necessarily like something even diving a bit deep, but
Dyer's
seems to
middle
have the
tower is
backup
under
as
attack.
the pressure is on. Why?
Dyer's structures
Gonna keep
are
skirting back
fortified.
and forth here. Does have his axe completed.
Yeah, gotta become a no chronosphere.
Be fearless.
No tombstone, no burning army. So if you're PSG.LGD, reset. So far, Vision has been the true king of this game. Both teams finding good opportunities when they have control of the areas in advance. And Faith Beyond has the Aeon disc now. Pre-pop.
Better not fall off. Rocket is nearby. Nico's pretty far forward here.
Oh.
Yeah, nice cookie hop away. Spider legs. Nico, he's hungry.
Gotta get the
Smells
blink.
blood in the water. He wants it. Cannot get there fast enough though. He's gonna back off.
That was huge. No bypass on Faith Beyond the Gauntlet. That was trouble.
Well, they were trying to see if they could take some damage over here onto Zhao 8, but again, they have Ame here. They can do too much. Nico maybe gets BK beat. It doesn't even matter. Another chrono here coming out for Y. They should be able to go and take it down. No, not quite gonna be able to take down the egg, but the long range snapfire kisses coming in hot. Is it gonna be enough to take down S4? They take down, maybe to take down S4, and they're looking to get anything else they can. Limp. These armies are doing so much. They can't slow out. They're able to just take down the Pugna. My God.
It's not like you're going to get anywhere.
Damn buyback now coming out from Limp. It's not ready to sit down.
I just can't believe it. Like,
From the red mist,
with this
axe
Aghanim, he kept a
return.
huge chrono
Dyer's
and then
middle
follows it
tower
up with
is under
a
attack.
bash on all targets thanks to the Aghanim's upgrade. Interrupts Limp's TP, now forces the buyback. You have no buyback on your Sven. There's no way that LG... Okay, he'll have it in 17 gold, so he's going to have it in
Dyer's middle
time.
tower
They won't
has
get
fallen.
thrown here, and there's no chrono. Maybe you get a nice fight out of this.
Dyer's middle
That's the hope
barracks
if
are
you're an
under
Alliance
attack.
fan right now, but PSG.LGD
Dyer's
giving us a
middle barracks has
masterclass in
fallen.
being patient and just...
Dyer's top tower is under
The
attack.
reincarnation talent of Faith Beyond.
Oh my
He will
God.
not die.
Literally living up to the name, Undying, the jump forward. They find themselves Hanskin right off the bat. Another fire over onto FNG. S4 trying to just keep him alive. They'll use a sheep. Faith Beyond, okay.
Not gonna work.
He's coming back up again, though, like we said. Just can't get rid of him. They're just surrounding FNG. S4 trying to find the opening. Maybe they can get more damage off. All right, they take down FNG.
Get some.
Oh, Zhao next to
Dyer's
fall.
top barracks are under
After getting a
attack.
triple kill, though.
Everybody-
Buyback.
Buyback, you know there's no buyout on Limp's Pugna. 100 seconds, you're gonna have a 4-on-5.
Dyer's top barracks
No
has
gold
fallen.
for it on FNG, so it's a
Dyer's
3-on-5.
top barracks has
Chrono
fallen.
on 30. Ame starts to hit throne.
Yeah.
Dyer's
No reason
middle
for him
tower
not to
is
right
under
now.
attack.
Alliance trying to figure out how do we get into this fight. We don't have our Omni. Okay, all right.
Radiant's middle
They
tower
might have
is
been
under
able to
attack.
find themselves the double kill. Nico maybe it's not looking good for Nico. Because he's dead. Oh my word, the GG gets called.
Those who
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
Beautiful, beautiful game coming out from
Dyer's
PSG.LGD.
middle tower
I just
has
can't
fallen.
believe it.
PSG.LGD. Victory.
It's fun for me to play as it was for everybody else, but holy. Okay, so what do we learn? Like, Clink's excellent here. We're going to see that all tournament long. Core Undying, it either crushed fights or died 100-0, so that's...